sounds like pieces of the Herald. It is a dream toxin. It has contaminated this entire room, everywhere that it's spread, to poison the dream world in this proximity.
I slap Sage in the face to break her concentration.
Oh no.
And I whisper to Mason, I've always wanted to do that.
It looked like it. That was a hard slap. It's more about what we're going to accomplish. I think this is, it's beyond just me. I'll be okay.
It is beyond us.
Taps Mason's shoulder and, well, our last friend died, but I'll make sure you don't.
I lost 2 friends.
Oh, sorry, 2. Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
I'm
But you're
going
different.
to.
You're built different.
I'm gonna take that as it was supposed to be comforting. So thank you, Garnet.
4 seekers, and magic dampens sound in these quarters, quieting boisterous visitors and heavy snoring.
And other things. I mean,
And other
we're all
things.
thinking it.
Are we though? Are
mean-
we?
These cheeks don't clap themselves. Just saying.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick. Clapping my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards. All right, so do you guys just want to spend the night and then get breakfast and do this thing?
Please,
Yeah, let's
God,
go.
yes.
Yeah.
Release me from this hell. They were on their way to find Sig, Ariana's tutor, the head of magical botany, and someone who had already been a vector for the Infernals in a previous incident. And if Unter Meowler, the library cat, would get off of my stream deck so I could run the show, that would be fantastic.
Oh, is it Athlon time? Let me at him. Let me at that.
Regards. Regards.
I'll kill that little.
All right. Okay. There's a hunter's mark on him. Spend that inspiration and go ahead and drop that spell in the chat.
I don't have any.
Yeah, you do.
It's okay.
You have
I
one.
do?
Yeah, you have one from chat. You can burn it.
Friendship.
Yeet.
Okay, so he has to succeed on a strength saving throw. He's a
Oh.
pretty strong guy.
Well,
Not
you know
one.
what?
Fuck it.
What if you don't?
Oh.
What if you don't?
She's the most powerful wizard in history.
I can't believe I'm using my last legendary resistance on a freaking level 2 spell.
Ariana's the goat.
Okay, legendary resistance.
17. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. This probably isn't going to be a big deal. Where my unarmed strikes go? Oh well.
This is where I get power word killed.
Oh
One night
no!
spell.
He's not a wizard anymore. He's a single-celled amoeba that's just gonna try to grab you. Oh my god! Natural 20. Yeah, you get shoved into his pocket. You get shoved into John's bag of holding. God.
Not again! Twice in one day.
Waves the crypto boy's body. This one yours?
I'm Fiat.
Yeah, this is the crypto boy.
Yes, that one's ours. You can just go ahead and leave him there.
Oh, okay. Drops him.
Also, disclaimer, chat, also not dead.
So do I see both Crystal Pirate and Artificer?
Yes, and 4 ninjas.
Which one of you two is more important? Or who's the boss?
Hey, who's the biggest bully at school? Which one of you is it?
Crystal Pirate like
Walk right up
floats.
into my secret base.
He's standing on
punch
this
my
like little
biggest-
crystal thing, and he's just floating there, looking at you with all these colorful crystals floating around him.
I guess I'm the majority share owner, so that would be me.
All right, I attack whoever said that. Who said that?
Think so.
Oh my god! It's hot! Oh, I'm gonna stop you so. Oh, it's so hot!
Genuinely
Genuinely what?
scared me.
My apologies.
Anything
And you
else?
said it's
Bruno?
shallow, right? So it's just disintegrating. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
like
not that it's sinking in. It's just that it's melting away.
Oh god, that's brutal.
Technically, you don't sink in the lava. It's very viscous material, and you can
Shut
walk
the
up
fuck
and
up.
burn.
Oh no.
Do you ever feel like the luck or whatever it is that's gotten you forward is going to run out at some point? Or that you can just keep going forward?
I'm pretty worried about myself all the time, but I consider Garnet a protagonist, so generally she's okay.
What? We're all main characters, and
So you're like the main character.
no,
Garnet, you know?
we're all the main characters of this story. Okay. Fourth wall just punching. Like touches Athalor's elven armor. See, this is plot armor.
Okay, good point.
Think so.
Oh my god! It's hot! Oh, I'm gonna stop you so. Oh, it's so hot! I don't like this at all!
Genuinely
Genuinely what?
scared me.
My apologies.
But
That's
also,
right.
yeah.
You're on a bound. You're on a bound. Look, Ariana's out. Balvarex. Please take care of her. We'll be taking Mason as payment.
He's
Yeah, like
collecting snacks already from the food hall for when she wakes up.
Thank you, Balvi. I'll owe you one.
Like as Garnet walks out the door, she'll just be like, "Yeah, we'll just say the drugs came from Balvi."
No. Basically going to stand up. No, Balvi, no. I'll make sure that doesn't happen. It's fine. We will not. No, won't happen. Won't happen. Garnet.
Yes, it's just down the hall.
Turns to Athalor, just how? It's
You get
fine.
used to
Never
it.
mind. It's fine.
Okay, so Leg Day impersonates the boyfriend. Is that why they broke up?
Oh my god!
I'm thinking this is afterwards. Oh my
god!
Oh, I'm just putting it on the table. You don't have to go with it. I'm just putting it on the table.
I don't know if that would end up in being friends as much as being.
That's gonna derail the crap out of this game.
But is it though? Well, you know,
We're gonna turn absolute power into a dating sim.
You turn into a girl and bait him into doing something. So
I'll
we
just
end
like,
up
yeah.
bonding.
A loyalty test.
You loyalty test the ex-boyfriend.
Wait, what if I like? You know how they do this on TikTok?
Yeah,
Yes.
they set it up, and you guys are like in on it. And
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Not monetizing the video, everybody. We've gone down this.
We might as well get it over with.
Yeah, just get all. It has to all be in this VOD.
Turn all out now.
Noted that.
The violence, the
It's gonna be the
scootly
most wild
pooping, get it
episode.
over with.
Oh shit, that too?
Oh, yeah, we got the,
No,
we
wait
got the
until after.
Santisco
Wait until you
scene later.
graduate. I lied.
But Dad.
Dad, you can't date until you're 25, young lady.
What about Una?
What about it? What about him?
You think we could get drunk?
My familiar drunk?
Maybe. Sorry, I'm just contemplating all the possibilities.
So you have a horn that gets you drunk?
Yeah, we should. Well, stares at DM. Just as their other plans.
About those plans you had, I hope you've got a good drunk Una voice.
Look, it's up to you to just go for it. Underage drinking, why
I'm
not?
mostly kidding. I'm mostly kidding.
You're underneath, you know, wrench, screwdriver, acetylene torch, and you manage to disconnect. Now you're gonna have to get it over all these traps and pits and stuff. But on the other hand, you have a flying
You
barbarian.
have a flying
Yep,
sword.
flying barbarian. Oh, that's exactly how we're gonna
Weaponized
implement the
flying
ballista, by the way.
barbarian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here I thought you were going to attach it to the ship, but no.
No.
I
Oh,
am
Valkyrie
this ship,
style.
baby.
Oh yeah.
Airstrike. Danger close.
We're gonna roll into Avernus, and we're not gonna actually have any kind of like doom buggy. We're all gonna be riding on top of just Crozet floating around riding a ballista.
How did you get a blimp? No, it's just a flying door.
Fly me close up. I want to hit them with my sword.
Who are we?
The companions of the Crimson Chain. All right.
Memory and the form, physical or otherwise, of the Internal Revenue Service.
I'm gonna kill the IRS. I'm gonna justice the IRS.
My kind have a very particular set of laws on violence. We call it our terms of service. Despite what my terms of service.
Explain the bang, old man.
Well, you see, when a mommy and a daddy, or a mommy and a mommy, well, or a daddy, or when two people love each other very much.
I would like to be mind wiped.
There's Obliviax Moss available. Talk to the Court of Reverie about that. So everybody gets up and starts.
Oh my god, he's like so smart.
And Tarsamore also saved. So yeah, the woman is the only one who suffered in this. We live in a fucking
The woman's
society.
the dumb one. Oh, the dice. Dice
That's
is sexist.
okay. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link when it comes to rituals.
Oh, now women are weak. I love this campaign.
Wait, what do you?
Well, we're magic users. We don't need a fucking sword to go through planes. We just wish our way there. We're spellcasters.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of the magical. I'm thinking of the stabby properties.
I don't have any stabby things, but
Yeah.
we could just blast them.
And my last stabby thing, I put in Mantra's mouth.
That. You know.
Good night, everybody.
How many?
Oh, me instant regret sentence.
The emotional roller coaster of this episode is breaking my brain.
Ariana's like also entertaining this as well as she's like going back and forth with Garnet about all these different possibilities of like, oh yeah, no, what if Uncle is eternal?
What?
Mason speaks up. It's
Like,
like,
just
well,
random stuff.
both of your brains are already in the right place for this. This is going to go great. I'm really looking forward to it. More so now, actually.
Good. Okay, let's go find Ethelure.
Ariana has like visibly perked up a lot from this conversation. Having a hard day in classes, hard day at school, but ooh, more day now. Hold
You
on
have ghosts
second.
in your blood and you should do cocaine about it.
Yes. So we'll listen.
If you'll allow it.
If you allow it, I like to skin the wolf's head and place it on Mr. Sir Thomas to disguise him poorly as not a cow.
You're just making him wear stinky skin.
Like a mask. Like a mask. Mask off. Look at mask off. Yeah, like that. It's so close.
It's a were-cow. Okay, you can certainly try. We're gonna go ahead and leave you cheerfully peeling the face off of this dead wolf so that you can stick it on your cow's head. And I'm gonna just drop that mental image with everybody.
I love you, and I always have. Even though you killed me, I thought our relationship would grow into something so beautiful that neither of us would be able to stop that love or passion.
Wait, hold on. Just wait, don't go into the light yet. Like, hold him like up my arms as he's on fire. Oh god, this kind of hurts a little bit. We could have been friends. We really could have. But I just want you to know that even in your death, you will be remembered. Because I have a new line of cryptocurrency coming out.
Wait, you what?
They're called NF trinkets.
Oh god, fucking kill me now, please.
How do you do, fellow kids? I'm Tormented by Gnomes, Game Master here on Book of Dawn, Ioth Academy, the 150th episode of our 8-episode Magical School 5e campaign. Joining me, we've got Crowan, Leg Day, and Lemon Kiwi. Crowan, how's it going?
Better now that my power is actually on. It's like literally the only 2 times power happened to be off is like an hour before D&D starts, and it's so extra grief. I was tilted last Sunday, so sorry about not being here. But
Dude,
it's better now. So yeah, we're here.
You still have your hair, and I'm impressed. That was malding inducing. I can only imagine on your side.
I was like, they're gonna think I'm just trying to ditch D&D. Like it just happened to reschedule to go out again. I was like, they're gonna think I hate them. It's
oh
that's
no,
not the
my
case,
power.
But we're good. Good now.
Legs, are you winning, son?
I won a lot today, actually. I'm already up to diamond in the new game.
Oh shit, let's go.
I'm ranked higher than 99% of players.
Beat the 1%.
Yeah, I am the 1%. I am Doc Strange, the 1%.
The bourgeoisie. Lemon, what's going on in your world?
Nothing. Excited for D&D and blood alchemiers. I don't know what we're cooking today, but
I did in fact use the term blood alchemy previously, so there's that.
Which is always done by good, upstanding guys.
Yeah.
Never met any evil blood alchemist.
Blood magic gets such a bad rap.
Why don't we ever talk about the good blood magic?
Exactly. All the contributions to this great nation by hardworking blood alchemists and job creators. It is the closing days of the year 6864. Our students have been attending Ioth Academy for almost 6 years now. They're in their 6th year. In that time, while dealing with quizzes and exams and crushes and student organizations and dances and homework, they have also contended with the malevolent powers that seek to destroy their home, this one safe place for students across the world to study the art of magic. This has led them from the classroom to the battleground to worlds beyond this one, to the very throne rooms and sometimes tombstones of the gods themselves. In these closing days of the month of Rana, sacred to the moon goddess Realta, our young heroes have returned to Ioth Academy flush with triumph, combining the magic of countless wizards and sorcerers and warlocks from the school. They worked together to open a shadow gate underneath the largest, most powerful, undefeated army in the Sunswept Lands, the Sinister Horde that rampaged across the priest kingdoms of Naramu, slaughtered Dune Riders left and right, destroyed the powerful armies of the mighty kingdom of Brontha. But by their magic, their cunning, and their focus, they are able to banish this threat to the shadow. And only recently have returned. They have stood before the ruling council of the Holy Citadel of Brontha to deliver a report on the defeat of this terrible enemy. But in the world of shadow, their more shadowy contacts have noticed the survivors of this army meeting with an unknown mysterious figure with flesh stitched and stapled on all over his body. Meeting with this creature, that army has begun marching through the lands of shadow towards the north, and they remain unassailed, though many of them perished in the hands of the clutching darkness that dwells within that place. Now that they have made some sort of arrangement, some sort of compact with this unknown entity, they move safely without incident. Athalor, mindful that his homeland, the Alfar refuge of Onderud, lies to the north in the mortal world, has sent a letter to his mother warning her of this. This is after he learned that his father and uncle were complicit in imprisoning countless hillfolk and harvesting the power of their minds to some esoteric and unknown purpose. But now, the next month draws close, the month of the four winds, Anemo. And it was only last year that these children killed the North Wind, banishing it completely into the void. Now, to earn the alliance of a grieving priest kingdom, they have promised to restore the mantle of the North Wind, building the raiment of a god from scratch. They only have 21 days left to do this, because it must be done on the high holy day of the four winds themselves, halfway through the upcoming month. And so, though they are fresh from their incredible victory over the Sinister Horde, for now, there's little time to rest. We rejoin our heroes in Tarselmore Hall, their home on the ring inside the academy. There's a great deal to do. There are components that have to be gathered in order to restore the mantle of the North Wind, things that they learned by speaking through the veil to the gods themselves. Before we proceed to that, do any of you have any unfinished business? Groen, you were being absolutely fucksored by your power company last time. Do you have any questions? Is there anything that you want to cover or do before we proceed?
And going back to the Four Winds thing, what all did we still need to do? We were waiting on what, Shadow Lurkalay to like get blood, right? Does that happen then?
Not yet.
Or no?
She was pulled off of that project in order to help with this massive work of shadow magic.
Right.
But she insinuated that the shadow of Vindur, Sovereign of the Skies, will only grow more fond of her while she's away. And so she hopes that that vacation would actually assist in her efforts. Hopefully, this session, you'll hear back from her. What else?
Hopefully.
Got you. Because besides that, most stuff was taken care of already, I think. Or am I...
You needed a frozen heart.
Yeah, we got that.
In Saparziku. No, you got it amongst the Ice Maidens of Debruk.
Yeah.
A raging wind, you don't have that yet. The blood of the Father, that's what you're trying to use blood alchemy to create. Light of heaven. Ostensibly, these are the celestial lights. Anakra at this time has no stars, but the aurora is visible all across the world at night, higher than the Sky Kingdom, just below the firmament. Above even the pearl moon itself and the sun, at the very edges of this world, the celestial lights can be found. You need those, and this must be done in the absolute north, which, upon convening with the various members of the faculty at the school, they conclude is going to be the North Pole.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm good for now.
The Lord Garnet likewise?
Yep, I'm good.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm good.
Excellent. As you are resuming whatever passes for normal life these days, I have to ask, do Athalor and Garnet have time to attend meetings of the Codex, the student organization founded by your erstwhile classmate Alexander, that still exists and still espouses itself to be the best of the best?
Athalor does not.
Am I missing Brontha meetings for this, or can I do both?
It's probably going to come into conflict once or twice at least.
Then I'll probably miss some Codex meetings.
Okay.
Unless they're like super mandatory, important, urgent, like we'll talk about it.
Prius
But
doesn't bring it up. Hasn't mentioned it to either of you. Hasn't said a thing. Hasn't sent word of it at all. He and Henin are still hosting meetings of the Codex. They're still going on, but they haven't reached out to you. They haven't like sent you the minutes from the latest meeting. They haven't asked why you're not attending. Nothing. They're just going about their business.
Okay.
We'll
Fair
revisit
enough.
that later. And a brief moment to Mason, who's a member of the activist organization called the Kizjon. Your partner, your girlfriend, Sventisco, leader of the Kizjon, is still organizing the group to go do missions of mercy to Gildenverge, the city of refugees that surrounds the academy. But she's also really focusing on educating the community, the organization, on what's going on in the outside world. And she is pushing everybody to take self-defense classes, to learn, like study with the wardens, learn the basics of hand-to-hand combat. Obviously got a long eye for what's going to happen in 2 years when everyone either leaves the academy or goes on to whatever's next. All that being said and done, the four of you are summoned. Where did my alchemist go?
Does Sventisco attend them as well? Like, do I see her when I'm taking my greatsword lessons?
Yeah, you see her from time to time. She's not studying greatsword. She's kind of on a different schedule than
Yeah.
you. She seems to be studying spear and dagger. But she occasionally sees you over there, just like trying to lift this enormous Zweihander.
Yeah, and he's not having a great time with it.
Mm-hmm. It's tricky. It's not the easiest. Roll me an athletics check to see how things are coming along.
But sorry, what? I completely spaced.
No worries. Roll me an athletics check to see how things are going along.
Me when my brain just shuts down for a second. That's a 7. You know what? I'm going to use a luck die. Why not?
Why not? You can.
Huge.
That's an
enormous. The value. The value.
Yeah, that's Athel with his brain also shutting down during these things. Oh, what?
Look, Athalor, I know you just got back from a massive battlefield, and you did a lot of stuff, and that's great, but if you are serious about learning this, you should probably pay attention.
Sorry.
Like, you look up, and there's a sword, there's like a practice sword at your nose.
Nice.
Situational awareness. The difference between life and death. Also, proper sleep hygiene.
Yeah. Not bad. Let's go again.
And you resume work after work after work. The Academy Alchemist, who I believe is from the Sacred Isles of Tateo, is hard at work, and from time to time calls you all in just to ask some questions and to go over how things are coming along. The goal is to replicate the blood of Vindur, one of the 4 elemental sovereigns. And when you go in there, you can see all sorts of different reagents and labels. They've acquired some genie blood, both Maurid and Ifrit, in order to cancel out fire and water. And he's been boiling that down and using aqua regia and stuff to try to isolate it down to the exact purest essence, So it can be used via titration to like, okay, we need to balance it this much towards fire and this much towards water, back and forth, left and right. He asks occasionally about Lair Calais. There's very little that you have to update him on. And do you still have Raelta's blood, or have you handed that? Did you hand some of that over? I forget.
I believe we have 2 vials. I still have 1. Mantra, I think, also has 1. Mantra may have handed theirs over.
See,
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I think I remember handing some of it over. I think so. Yeah, I don't think I have mine anymore.
Okay. It is about time that we acquired the counterpart to this sample. And I was led to believe that we were going to do so via concentration rather than directly tapping the Sun Rider himself. So, Garnet, where do we stand on that? Were you able to contribute an additional sample?
You've been keeping up with your letting.
I have the leases right here.
Sure, I guess.
right.
Do I get a lollipop for this one?
Sending spell.
Bring a lollipop, bring a lollipop, bring a lollipop.
Yes.
That's only
you do.
9 words.
Now,
Yay!
you take, well, you don't take any damage, but you lose half your hit dice from bleeding. And it was the headmistress herself who has to work on this project. So a few days after that, you are called in once again, and Elnau is standing there wearing not Ioth's robes, those were lost when Ioth himself was lost, but bearing his staff. Right. So we'd mentioned the possible contamination that we may be dealing with here, correct? And out of character, Garnet, what where's your void corruption these days?
Was that 8 out of 10 right now? I don't remember where it was at the last sample, but
That's fine. We just took a fresh
same amount.
sample. So
Okay. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
I have been conducting analysis, and I believe that we have the means to neutralize this. But we need to control the counter reaction. And as it just so happens, you were all recently involved with rather a large display of shadow magic, which is a natural byproduct when you combine dawn and void energies. So I'd like you to work on a matrix we can apply so that when I infuse this very, very carefully with some of our limited reserves of dawn energy, the 3 of you can manipulate the resulting shadow product and prevent it from damaging or altering the remaining celestial fire energies. You've done harder stuff than this, right?
Yeah.
So we're just gonna make a siphon?
Effectively, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've got ideas. I'm sure that Garnet and Mantra will have better specifics.
Great, go work on that. I want to see your notes before we try it. As the current, she looks over at Garnet. Currently most advanced shadow mage at the academy. Give me a write-up. No, I'm talking about me.
Oh.
But current. All right, take that as you will. Go do a
For now.
write-up. Run it past me. We'll see if it makes sense once we've done all that. And we have like 3 weeks. So this is your homework now.
Okay. Easy.
Right. And she sends you off. What are the 3 of you going to do for your research and preparation, roughly speaking?
Are there any? Oh, go ahead.
Can you repeat again? Like, what did we get asked to do again?
Garnet's blood contains vital energy, because all blood does. It also contains celestial or primordial fire energy because she's been touched by Zalar, but she is also corrupted by void. The goal is to get the fire celestial energy out without any corruption, any contamination. However, in order to get rid of void, you have to apply dawn. When you apply dawn to void, it generates shadow. Shadow has a tendency to affect things, alter things, drain the vitality of things, etc. So she needs you to come up with a way so that when she applies the dawn energy, the remaining blood and fire does not get contaminated.
Okay, so draw the shadow out away. That does okay.
Is this like a just dispel magic angle? Oh, you did?
An XP for
It's an
moi!
XP angle. Dispel usually sort of like disarms a spell matrix effectively. It dissipates energy harmlessly. So that could work theoretically, but it would have to specifically apply to shadow only.
Yeah, because you have to see the effect in order to. I don't know if you can see shadow magic energy disperse.
The other thing is, it is in such fine amounts, right? This isn't necessarily going to be a huge explosion, and it needs to be very accurate. It's more like biology, chemistry. So even if you can't see it, you need to get it as close to perfect as possible.
Is there one of the high magic things that we could use for? Where's the list again about like all the potential options to learn for that?
I posted it in our backstage chat, but I'll go ahead and pop that open on my side as well. It definitely could be a high magic.
Oh, I see this. I see this.
I could also ask for the Rod of Absorption back from Brontha as like the easy way to do this. But if we could harness it, I feel like I wouldn't want that to go to waste. Like
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if we did this experiment in the center of a proverbial spell matrix, and we generated the matrix to a point where it starts to require an energy source, but we've coded this matrix to be for shadow magic.
A bomb.
No, not a bomb in this case.
The opposite of a bomb.
Or just anything really. It doesn't even need to be completed. But if we created a spell matrix around where we're doing this chemistry, and it could only take shadow magic as a power source, and it had the magic within it, maybe when things start to separate, when we apply for dawn magic to the sample, it would pull out the shadow magic to try and fuel itself and sustain itself, leaving the dawn behind, or at least the vital energy of Garnet behind. It would have to be some kind of shadow spell, obviously, because that would be what takes shadow energy.
Could we also high magic this to maybe extend the spell to make sure it draws all of the shadow out of it?
Yeah. Do a circle, and then we can send it to somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we...
You're really on this bomb thing today.
I mean, it's out now. She wants to make a bomb, and I want to make a bomb better than hers, or even faster than hers.
Okay, but ideally not inside.
She thinks she's the best fucking shadowcaster ever.
Well, I mean, right now. She said specifically just right now, not like maybe in 2 years you'll surpass her. Who knows?
Could the penultimate shadowcaster give me some ideas of what spells might require a lot of energy from your Book of Shadows?
The Book of Void, you mean? I don't know how we would use shadow magic, but yeah. We need like a magic sponge. Mason, don't your runes like could soak all the magic in and be like a shadow rune or something?
That might be possible. I was working on some kind of rune, but I'm not sure.
What rune languages do you know?
Celestial runes. I was learning other stuff, but only celestial runes. Actually know.
Celestial runes don't have a whole lot of shadow application.
Mantra, do you know the basis of absorb elements?
I don't.
If we could figure that out, we could probably augment that.
True, we could bend the. I mean, I guess shadow isn't typically part of that, as far as I'm aware. So we
Though
could
just the
try
same
to
manner of like
manipulate it?
energy siphoning kind of mechanic
Uh-huh.
wouldn't necessarily have the same result, but just to draw that in.
Modify the spell matrix of it a little bit, make it interact with shadow.
Yeah, I mean, between you and Ghana, you could probably figure out how to like artistically generate some kind of rune that would pull that kind of thing in. What we need to do is we need to have two abjurers visualize their spell matrices for absorb elements for different elements, and then we'll have a look at the differences between them. Whatever has changed in those matrices is likely what is kind of deciding what's being sucked in, and then we can change that as well in the same
Yeah.
place, but with whatever you and Garnet figure out.
Sounds like a lot of, well, I guess some trial and error. We could make some educated guesses on how the matrices of shadow spells work, and how does how does the like absorb like some matrix of absorb elements work? Does it like take like an inverse of like an elemental like spell and absorb it, or like?
So it doesn't do the inverse. So well, it does the inverse, but with the same element, right? So absorb elements doesn't work by, oh, I'm taking fire damage, counter it with cold. That's not how it works. It basically, because it channels it into a melee attack. So when you cast a spell, first you have to tap into a power source, accumulate energy, shape that energy, and release the energy. Absorb elements basically makes it so that part of tapping the energy isn't tapping into your source, it's tapping into whatever triggered the effect. So effectively, it makes that effect part of your spell.
Okay.
It's like a lightning rod.
That sounds about right.
Right.
The issue is absorb elements only works with acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. And shadow is very squirrely. It's not just like one of the classical elements. It's enigmatic and shifting and doesn't like following the rules. If this worked with necrotic and radiant energy, then you could find the balance somewhere in between those two. But it doesn't. Now, I'm not saying this won't work. Some of the principles could still apply, but it's going to be a little uglier. It's not going to be a direct point A to point B for you.
Could we then take some like theoretically some like radiant and necrotic spells and kind of analyze the matrices of those and try to apply the same concepts then?
What do you got?
Okay.
I know Garnet has necrotic, and I know you have some radiant, and I believe Athalor has some radiant as well.
I have shadow
Mm-hmm.
stuff too. 2 questions. One, could we make a pearl of power using the shadow energy and just make a shadow pearl of power if we had an artificer that knew how? It's one idea.
They would have to work with you, and given the trace amounts, it probably wouldn't be enough energy by itself to create the item, but it could absolutely be part of creating such an item.
And then number 2, I do have shadow form, which literally makes me a walking shadow. Could I just like kind of, I don't even know if I'd be allowed to just absorb the shadow just by being a shadow, or would that damage me, or would that be possible?
That could theoretically work. This spell by itself wouldn't work. It doesn't have any sort of life drain. Yeah, because this normally you would feed on vital energy instead of feeding on shadow energy. But to like accumulate this, the theory of this spell could absolutely be part of it. Athalor tends to be good at synthesizing these sort of disparate elements. So keep throwing things out there and we will see how that goes. By the way, if any of you do happen to go knocking on the artificer's doors, they have been working on that strange rune you learned from Doakai beneath Nenri. The prevailing theory, I don't remember if we've covered this or not, and to remind you, the rune looks like a doorway with a tree inside of it and an anchor beneath it, very abstracted. The prevailing theory is that Doakai may have found a way to block access to the mirror realm.
Oh. So that you can have mirrors, make mirrors great again?
Vanity
Yes.
can return to Ioth Academy?
That is, they are not positive of that yet because there is not a lot of mirror magic at the academy. There's a lot of testing they have to do, and it has to be done under extremely, like, if they do this wrong, they could get pulled through the mirror and replaced, right? So this is they're doing this very tentatively and very carefully. But if it works, incorporating this symbol into mirrors could allow them to be sealed off.
That's lit.
There's a couple artificers who are also looking at other applications like protective amulets, spells, ritual scarification and tattoos, that kind of thing.
Ritual scarification, that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what ideas do we have? We have the rune from Crowan. We have me, Shadow Form. We have Artificer, Orb of Power. We have
Augmented absorb elements.
Giga, yeah, Absorb Elements. Anything else? Or high magic bullshit, where we bomb some. Well, just take the magic and do something with it.
Let's just take the magic and put it over there.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I think those are our foundational pillars right now.
Okay. Then to do further cookery, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Who are you going to talk to?
Athel's going to a Tower of Abjuration to talk to Mia Hethil and have various abjurers outline their essentially their mind's eye of matrices for different absorb elements.
So you end up in a room with your distant cousin / spy / traitor / abjuration mentor with a couple of different students and professors of abjuration, and they're just like drawing all over the room. You know, they're like, I've got a complete notation that I use in order to explain the mental construct of the spell. So you end up in like one of those rooms covered with chalkboards for your montage.
Yep.
I'm just seeing if I can find.
I'm in the theory of everything room.
While you're doing that, roll a deception or performance check to fly casual.
Fly casual. So I was just wondering if you betrayed. Cast any spells? 24.
Okay, not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, Mason, what are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you consulting in order to work on this?
I guess be working with Garnet if we want to find kind of the in between of the necrotic and radiant. I got a radiant spell that would probably work. So either we could do it our own or find somebody to help us with the matrices.
Garnet, what spells do you have that deal necrotic damage?
Almost all of it. I have Touch of Twilight. Touch of Twilight. I have just necrotic or shadowy stuff too. I don't know.
Shadowy is also useful, but you can do some shadow analysis by combining radiant and necrotic energy together.
This one. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Terrible day for formatting.
Shadow. I guess either one of them. Well, all
right.
The shadow form lasts into an hour, so it'd probably be like better to see the matrices run a spell last for an hour.
Will be me. I'll just T-pose and then you'll just study the.
Yeah.
Hit me with radiant. Ow, bitch, ow.
But actually, I'll do a certain thing, even though mine only lasts for a minute. But I actually never have used this. But Judgment Mark. You could like judge somebody if they're good, neutral, evil, whatever, and if they're good, then it makes All right, no, it's the creature's line that matches my own. Wait, I actually can't use it on myself. It's Because my own alignment would obviously match my own alignment.
What
It's
is Mantra's
me.
alignment?
I'm
I
worthy.
assume Mantra is good, but
Yeah. What did I write down? Because definitely, yeah, neutral good. That's, yeah. Oh, wait. How do we neutral good? Because it's good, neutral, or evil. I mean, definitely more good than anything, so, yeah. So I'm gonna find, so, what's Garnet's alignment?
that's the eternal
Only one
question,
way to
isn't
find
it?
out. Judgment.
Some chaotic something. I don't know. Chaotic
Chaotic chaos.
neutral, chaotic good.
I think you're
Good or-
you're wavering in that territory. Chaotic neutral with good tendencies, or chaotic good with neutral tendencies.
Yeah, one of those. So it's different than yours, I guess. I don't know if that makes me worthy or quote unworthy.
If someone is good and it matches my good, then it works as intended, and radiant light comes up, and that would be the basis
It's like
of this
flickering,
matrices.
you know, sort of like it's like a neon
Yeah.
bulb that's sort of starting to die.
It's got 2 bars of signal.
It says worthy, and then the question mark appears at the end and just keeps flickering on and off.
Wait. Actually, if Garnet is in shadow form and I judgment mark, and there's like 2 spell matrices like over her, does that make it like easier to distinguish the like middle ground between them and kind of get like a little fast track into
Yeah,
what we're trying to do
that's
here?
a good idea. Could I have each of you roll Arcana checks, please?
Sure.
Go, my brainlets. Oh,
We're cooking.
yes.
18 and a 15. Okay. You have a couple of ideas based on this. First off, you could use the Judgment Mark rune, a modified version of the Judgment Mark rune, to effectively neutralize as a sink for the resulting shadow energy reaction. You would need to have that Judgment Mark be under conflicted circumstances. So, like, if you put the Judgment Mark on someone who is unworthy and then channeled the shadow into it, it would all sort of even itself out and neutralize. That's one option. The other option is you could use it to add energy to the casting. So if you had a high magic induction going, and you were kind of going off of Athalor's idea, and you were to cast a spell with the shadow descriptor, when this reaction occurs, you could just, like he said, grab that energy and sort of whip it into the spell, and then it would just, whatever you did would be done with it.
Okay. So either find someone whose alignment doesn't match my own, or cast a spell with shadow and rip it out of the, okay.
As part of a high magic induction.
Yeah, part of the high.
Apple, was there anything else that you wanted to study?
Um,
Because you're getting a good idea. Roll an Arcana check for me as you're studying these different
Yeah.
absorb element.
Oh, 25.
Okay.
And I'll give myself a guidance. I don't find it weird that I'm guidancing myself. This is learning time.
Yeah, it's magically enhanced learning is completely normal. They don't test for guidance except during like tests and stuff. Okay. If you were to use the absorb elements, because that's what you were having them all spell out for you, right?
Mm-hmm. If this comes up with nothing, Ethel was also going to ask after Garnet's idea about dispel magic, and if there's a more targeted method of dispelling magic to not destroy the rest of the stuff.
All right. So first off, you could create an absorb elements spell that was a contradiction with itself. One spell attempting to absorb two opposing elements. Under normal circumstances, it would just not work or explode. Probably not a big explosion, but, you know, explode. But if when that spell matrix is completed, there was the addition of shadow at the exact same time, because that is a contradictory form of magic, it would effectively safely dissipate out. So So you create a short circuit and then add that, and it all neutralizes itself. There is no short circuit, nothing explodes. As for dispelling, it's tricky to dispel shadow magic with a normal dispel magic effect. Normally, dispel magic just sort of targets everything. And while it can be tuned to target specific things, shadow, as usual, is elusive and difficult to detect, scan, specifically hit. The thing that is most effective against shadow is light, which itself casts shadows, but it also dispels them in the immediate vicinity. So most people who are dealing with shadow magic just blast it with light.
So figuring
Garnet-
out what the opposite of shadow is in this case is probably not the realm of the abjurers.
Right. Now, Garnet might, because she is a shadow mage, Garnet and Elle now might be able to help you create a spell matrix that specifically neutralizes shadow magic, combining with your expertise in abjuration. Thing is, all these are weird, untested theories. So you don't have a solid idea of the chance of success on any individual method. You just know these are all things that could work.
There's always layering.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's time to layer this up.
All that homework being done, is there any additional research that you wish to do? Any additional experiments you wish to do? Or do you want to come up with a solution and present it to the headmistress?
Lemon, did you say that Garnet has some just like low-level shadow spells that could
Yeah, I
potentially
posted
be a...
them.
yes. Touch of Twilight's a shadow spell, yeah?
Yeah. Well, it does necrotic. Yeah. It comes from my shadow caster.
It's shadowy
thing, so-
enough. It's sufficiently
Yeah.
shadowy.
Okay. So presumably, if the Abjurer's theory is correct, there's a world where I could use this augmented kind of weird matrix, have Lemon hit me with Touch of Twilight, and it would kind of just fizzle out, but I wouldn't get anything from it either. Because it would just...
Right. But if you didn't get that Touch of Twilight, the busted ass short circuiting spell matrix you made might cause some feedback.
Yeah.
Again, if it's a low level spell, it shouldn't be catastrophic results. Absorb elements is like what, level 1?
Yeah, it's very low level.
Yeah. It shouldn't hurt any more than like a level 1 magic missile.
Yeah.
And you can cast that for free, right? With Fundamentals of Shadow, as I remember? Or, oh no, I'm thinking of Twilight Tendril.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a level 1 spell slot, and we got days that we're practicing, so
That's true.
no biggie. I got 3 spell slots for you.
So I guess first Athel would try and get together with Garnet and figuring out what might be the good other ingredient that might neutralize shadow, whether it's like radiant, or if it's like the symbols for dawn without actually having dawn.
Light. Not radiant necessarily, but actual light, like the daylight spell. There's magical darkness versus normal darkness.
So magical light versus regular light.
Right. Magical light.
Oh, we're playing with photonics. Oh, who the fuck would know about that? Illusionists?
Yeah, actually. There's a surprising amount of illusion magic is some of the closest to shadow magic now that I think about it.
All right, to the Tower of Illusion.
It is very annoying going to the Tower of Illusion. The decor is constantly changing. Rooms seem to move all the time. Doors are disguised as things that are not doors. It's a bit of a mind fuck. Go ahead and give me is this you and Garnet going to this?
If Garnet would like to come.
Yeah.
All right.
Mantra is also welcome.
Yeah, I would come along.
I don't know if Mantra gets the heebie-jeebies from illusions, being whatever his backstory is.
No, not Inherently, no. We're good.
All right. Give me a persuasion check, please. Whoever's leading the expedition.
Oh, I guess I will.
All you.
John roll. That's a 10. I'm gonna burn my respiration. That's a 21. That's better.
Okay.
Hello, illusion homies, fellow illusioners.
How do you do, fellow illusioners? A splendidly dressed geriatric lizard folk responds to your query. Just all garbed up with, I'm a mage, I'm a member of the Muintiori, just all that sort of thing. Monocle on a golden chain, on a platinum chain, actually.
Wow.
We'll have each of you sit down and listen to your explanation of this theory and what it is that you're attempting to accomplish.
I'd like to make an intelligence check to see how many of his things are real.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Oh, investigation. Okay. Well, it's the same as intelligence. 17.
It's a complete fabrication. This person's not even a lizard folk. You can't tell what they are underneath this, but it's all like alter self or disguise self or something along those lines.
Could I see if he got any characteristics wrong about his lizard disguise?
Roll,
I actually
you want to give him notes?
Yeah.
Roll a nature check for me.
Oh, could I do a magical creatures with Arcana? Or is it a magical creature?
No. Lizard folk are just a type of folk.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Guidance 1d4.
What is there? A threshold of you got the hex code wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 1d4.
25. You get out like the Pantone chart.
Whichever one you want.
The eyes are slightly off. They're the wrong species of reptile. Just like cross-eyed. There's just one that's going off to the side. No, it's like the pupils are the wrong shape. It's oblong when it should be, ellipsoid.
Amateur hour.
Amateur.
Is he even trying? Like, what the hell?
So upon all of this,
Hey, is it?
Listening to your explanation and everything, wet.
As like they look, or sorry, Athel looks confused. I lean to Mason and I start commenting on the eyes. He got the eyes all wrong.
Really,
So embarrassing.
I honestly, I wouldn't have noticed. I would have got fooled, but you're too smart. Nothing gets by you.
And I start educating him on lizard eyes. Well, you see, like they're usually like this.
Just like looking, just like looking through like notes and stuff about this whole thing. I'm just like, yep.
Like,
smile.
Like lizard guy is like talking, and I'm just like.
So we were trying to augment some spell matrices for the school to help with the Sapphire Secret thing. We need to try and absorb some magical shadow energy. And we figured the best way to try and neutralize that is magical light energy. And who would know better about conjuring magical light and other visual stimuli than the illusionists? We were hoping that some of your postgrads might be able to give us some insight into their kind of mental maps of spell matrices that involve light, like, say, daylight spells. Is that notation?
Let me think about that for a moment.
Did you say
They
please? I
fold
whispered.
their hands together and twiddle their claws, look downwards, concentrating very intently.
The eyes start to fix.
For a minute. For 3 minutes.
Are you okay? Okay.
No response.
Did you break him? His ears should be functioning fine.
Still no
Lizards are not
response.
deaf.
That's strange.
I gotta try and like touch his shoulder.
You go right through.
Oh,
God damn it, we got ghosted.
it's not real.
Oh,
Not
is this
here.
thing in power saving mode or something? Run out of batteries.
The alter self spell has been replaced with some sort of illusion spell that's just on a loop of twiddling thumbs. What do you do?
Did someone show us in here?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other academy staff?
No one in this immediate office, but there's people moving around outside.
Ask someone else.
Yeah. Fine. I'm sure there's a post-grad around who can help us. It's only just like regular light magic. We don't need the head of a Tower of Illusion.
No, surely not.
And evidently they are busy.
When you open the door, there is an Arakokra mage leaning up and talking to an orc. Just going back and forth and going, oh, right.
Yeah, we were on hold.
No, yeah, I'm back now. This is a little odd. You actually want evocation, but the master of evocation isn't really equipped to help you with this.
I guess.
She's more of a specialist in shadow magic, and the headmistress now.
She's the other side.
Right, but someone else in there, a prismatic specialist, I think, would actually be better suited for this. You need a genuine generation of light, and most illusion spells actually have to do with the manipulation of perception or the creation of false light rather than the generation of actual organic, homegrown, fair trade light. So, evocation.
Right, and the shadow side. Any expertise there? I think my companions may have had questions about their own projects regarding shadow that might...
Yeah, it's always interesting how Elnow used it. It can be a lot more subtle than that.
Yeah.
Generating quasi-reality, semi-real illusions, tangible illusions, illusions that can kill you, usually rely on weaving shadow stuff from the between place into the spell to create a
conjuration.
Sort of a between them and us. It's shadow. It doesn't really follow the rules. It's sort of a borderline territory. But what you could do is, if you had something to weave it into, to spin it into a thread,
like a shadow loom.
Oh,
that's
we might be able to do something like that. Actually, I was just looking. I had some notes here. There's a type of high magic thing that changes one type of energy to another. The transmute one.
Oh,
that could work.
Yeah, like a transmutation. That sounds super doable.
Would have to learn that, but that should be doable. That's kind of exactly what we need, honestly, right?
I mean, that seems a lot more simple than just making a new spell from the ground up.
Yeah, just changing the energy.
Yeah, I like the idea. So long as we can siphon it and then change it.
Great.
Or if we change it, do we even have to siphon it, really? Because if we just change it, it wouldn't conflict, would it? It would just...
I think we're still trying to isolate the purity of the celestial stuff in Garnet's blood, right?
Oh, right, okay. Even if we change the...
Because I'm fairly sure we wouldn't be able to, well, unless we could change it into more divine Xylarian energy, but...
maybe it's siphoning it, but like it gives us more wiggle room. If we change it, it won't, like, you know, go super poorly.
Make it into something less squirrely?
Yeah, exactly, actually.
Well, as long as the transmute only affects that particular energy type and doesn't mess with the other things you're trying to work with, that sounds great. Anything else?
No, it's been quite helpful. Thank you.
Great. Study illusion when you graduate. Or don't. And the Arakokra steps into his office and the lizard folk vanishes.
Compelling point.
Closes the door behind him.
Studied lizards.
Maybe we have an illusion. Maybe we have an illusion of choice then.
Garnet, as the door closes and you say that, the glass on the door shifts into a mouth. And a glass tongue comes out. And then it goes flat.
Spooky.
Illusionists are so quirky.
I think it might be a prerequisite.
Apparently. I wasn't aware.
You know, they're just imagination merchants.
Imagination merchants? Yeah.
I would say we're peddling dreams, but I guess that's more go dice.
All right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
High magic.
Magic.
A Loserin then, I guess.
Yeah, we could run this.
Elna.
Actually, that would be probably good to run this, at least specific idea about transmuting the energy with Eloserin, see if it's actually viable for taking the time to study it. Make sure we can do it.
You want to go see Vault Boy?
But
Yeah.
yes, go to the vault.
All right.
See the Fallout shelter.
Oh, you're here. Teaching has been
boring.
Different word. Enlightening. Eye-opening.
First time for everything.
In a good way, in a fulfilling way.
I'm not convinced that's my calling.
Well, that's okay. Hopefully this won't have to go on too much longer.
It lends additional context to the past several years of education. And the lived experience of all my teachers.
Yeah, now you know what it's like to be on the other side.
Yeah.
Right. But I prefer working with small groups of excellent, very smart people.
Hey, that's why we're here, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't in your class, so.
Sure.
It's already know.
Wanted to run something by you about the looking through the sections of your long book. There's one on transmuting, right? Wait, does Eloserin know what we're attempting to do here?
No, he's completely not read in
Okay.
on the specific project, but he knows exactly
Right.
what you're talking about when you say transmuting.
Do we want to fill Eloserin in on the specifics of this, or just looking to Garnet and Athalor?
Just
think
trying
that
to transmutate the some energy, you know, just
Yeah,
min-maxing
okay.
the spell.
It's all written down
Yeah.
in here. What do you need me for?
Well, to see if it would work on shadow magic, theoretically, if
'Cause
we
we-
wanted to.
We're not looking at like wholesale transmutation of energy. We're looking at more of a decontamination use case.
Yeah.
What do you mean decontaminate?
If we want to like siphon some shadow magic out of a specific thing and transmutate it so it'd be easier to make sure it doesn't go awry.
Any sort of energy conversion, different forms of magical energy are more suited or not conducive to other transmutations. For example, fire to cold, they exist on opposite polarities of each other, so it depends on what type of modification you're attempting to make. Lightning to cold, much more difficult. What exactly? You're dealing with shadow, which is particularly difficult and hard to pin down. What is the desired end product?
To make it into something that's the most easily controllable, I suppose.
Well, shadow and darkness is more conducive to cold than anything else.
Yeah.
Can we concentrate it or store it for a later use thing?
Absolutely. Do you have a receptacle?
Probably find the materials for an orb of power, or pearl of power, but I don't know if this is really what we're dealing with is enough. But
if you found a black pearl, it would definitely have a reciprocal property that would make it particularly appropriate, or maybe to a certain degree a black opal. Probably not obsidian, though obsidian could work in a pinch. Something that has a natural affinity towards that energy type, even without constructing a whole magical item from wholesale. You should be able to create just a sort of storage chamber or sink using something that is has a natural affinity for shadow.
we should try to control it. first, and then let's say worst case we store it until we figure it out better.
Well, if you're going to control it, to what end? Energy will either change its react with its environments, or dissipate, or remain. There aren't a whole lot of other options aside from that. So if you need to do something with it, you either need to have it react into something, usually in the form of cold or necrotic, or have an appropriate receptacle, or safely dissipate it. What's your desired outcome?
I could concentrate it maybe and use it to fuel some spells that I already have.
Instantaneously or delayed later?
Well, I don't know yet, but that's an option.
Mm-hmm.
Is this, just for clarity, is this an important part of it, wanting to store it for later?
Well, you just might as well not let it go to waste, but if it's really not that
Yeah.
much, then I don't care.
I'm not sure how much it would really be. It's just from just a small amount of sample, you know?
Right. I mean, I guess we could acquire a black opal or pearl or something easily, and if it remains for later use, great. If not, then no big loss, kind of thing.
I mean, just down in Gildenverge, you could probably find an obsidian dagger or something.
Oh, they probably have those at the academy as spell components. Very common.
Yeah.
Onyx in the necromancy department.
But so also transmuting it to cold would be easiest to work with, you think?
Shadow has a
Okay.
natural affinity for cold.
So, say we were working with a power source that had several different energetic components, and one of them was shadow, and I say the other was divine, light, heat, fire.
Then you wouldn't want cold.
Well, but would transmutation to cold not interact with that and would only interact with a shadow, or
wouldn't interact with the shadow, but because it's just the inverse polarity of fire, it could then diminish the efficacy or neutralize or drain out that fire.
What are the chances that we'll have a shadow form? If you guys were to place me just in the high magic circle, I could just be the sponge. If it's really not that much.
You've survived worse.
Yeah?
Interesting. Be the spell. How would that just work though? Like, would you just be a sponge?
I don't know. I'm asking the high magic circle guy if I could be the Matrix or something.
A component thereof. It's entirely possible. You'd need to participate in the induction field. In order for that to work properly, you need to be a participating member of the induction field. But then, yes, I don't see why not.
What about the what's that again? The conduit or someone who supplies their spell power in a field? What's
Channel.
that?
Channeling.
Okay. Can the properties of a channeler be applied to an inanimate object that's within the induction field?
An inanimate object? Not
Yeah,
normal.
who are you calling inanimate?
No, I mean the energy source, if it was within the field.
Yes, it's possible to tap into an external energy source.
So potentially Garnet could cast some shadow magic while that thing is within the field and just use it as use for shadow energy as for fuel to say, I don't know, do a dancing shroud.
And that should only pull the correct energy because that channeling wouldn't draw any other kind.
I see.
If you were trying to get rid of a small amount of shadow, just using it with a channel induction, that makes sense. That should work.
That does seem like the most simple way to do it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
The most simple of the multiple complicated ways we have.
I'll be the guinea pig. We'll be okay.
Well, it's your energy anyway.
What's the likelihood that that invading army is going to show up? I heard that you got rid of them entirely. Should I still be preparing all the students in the event of a mass threat?
Would you rather be in math?
No.
And
Then
Samora
shut
seems to
up.
think that having some kind of victory with high magic is going to make us priority target number one for everyone else.
Ah.
So I'd say that we're likely still in danger. Unless
Still
Mauler
important.
is, over worrying.
No, that makes sense.
I could teach a class. You got it pretty good.
I think you're busy enough already, Garnet.
Winning wars. No big, but
And maybe that's a class you could teach. Bring some first years along on your next excursion.
we should take over the war class, okay?
They
From
have a
tomorrow.
secondary war tactics class, advanced version.
Technically,
we
I believe
probably
that
have
what
more
you do would
hands-on.
fall under war magic rather than war tactics, because I doubt you've been commanding formations or logistics or anything like that.
How do you doubt that?
You two didn't even do a first class.
Am I right?
Why do you doubt it? I asked first.
I think you give off more of a rogue vibe than a commander vibe.
You're magic scholars. You've been practicing a high magic.
My mother's a general.
My father's an enchanter. Who cares?
Okay. But I care.
I'm not an enchanter. Have you been studying general things your whole life?
Well, my father's a potential affront to reality. So while we're keeping
There you
score.
go. It's prescriptive. Case closed.
But you used to be, but you're not anymore.
Yeah, you say, hey, you as well.
Hey, we've all conversed with Uncle except Mason.
True.
So Mason's the weird one.
Yeah, I'm the weird one. That's what that means. Yeah.
All right, squiggly horns.
I'm reasonably convinced that we're the weird ones, actually.
Thank you. Yeah.
What the hell? Speak for yourself.
Yeah, we're all weird here. Every single one of us, just in different ways, or some similar ways. But anyways, we're losing the plot here.
But right, use an external energy source with a spell that requires that type of energy and a channel induction in an induction field in order to fuel the spell, thereby pulling just that type of magic out. Simplest method.
Yes. Other question. Does one of us need to learn the channel induction and then specify the energy source?
Oh, channel.
Or will it automatically be channeling its energy into the induction field if it's within
Invocations have to be individually studied, but any of you can boost, channel, join, support, expand, maintain simply by understanding the high magic induction field. That won't require any additional study on your part.
Okay. Sounds good. Workable.
Right. Within that field, would there be ways to make sure that process is, I don't know, more certain, more sure?
Stabilization?
Stabilization or boosting.
Right. There's a specific incantation to redirect. Would that be something?
Redirect the target?
Yeah, just to make sure it goes into where we want it to. And
that shouldn't be necessary if you're using it as an energy source. That would be more affecting the output of the spell, the output target of the spell. So if that is a concern, then yes. Otherwise, no.
Okay. It should be fine then.
This seems relatively well thought out.
As far as it can be for us.
Yeah. True.
If you have a few years to do research and analysis, then take it. Otherwise, this seems like a good plan.
A few years, probably not on the list. Maybe a few weeks.
Enjoy your classes.
I won't.
We're gonna go see if we can purify something.
Thanks for the insight.
You're welcome.
That's almost past down now, I guess.
As we leave, Luttra turn to Garnet and be like, maybe you're right. Maybe he is the weird one, just him.
Ariana always knew. But at least he's smart. He's like the smart weird, not the bad kind of weird.
He contains multitudes, truly.
Who is the bad kind of weird?
Bryce.
those monsters in the underground that really wanted a fucking hug from Garnet. Those lonely guys.
Yeah, they're the bad kind of weird.
Where's my hug looking at?
Where's my hug?
Yeah, they were the bad kind of weird. I'm with you on that. Okay. You go run it past Elle now. She looks everything over. That makes sense. I mean, it's going to take me years before I understand this kind of stuff anywhere the way my predecessor did, but this doesn't seem that complicated.
I mean, from the like 30 minutes of math, it seems pretty fine. Like, it's just down to whatever Garnet wants to cast off the back of this, whatever shadow spell, and then whatever effect it has.
As long as it has to be a shadow spell, but outside of that, it should be fine.
I was like reading up on curses to see if there was any fun shadow curses, but
You can get creative with
Oh.
curses.
yeah, but they're all like stuff that you don't want because curses are bad.
Yes, curses are bad.
So I'm just
At what range can they be done? Wait, 1 second. Okay, in the name of breaking the Geneva Conventions, did Pevom's mom find any of the survivors from that battle?
Yes.
Yay, torture. Let's test curses.
Is there a curse of truthfulness? You know, before we get straight into the torture.
So to
Oh,
clarify,
there's all types of fucking curses here.
Ioth Academy is much more likely to stick you in a room, put some debuffs on you to harm your saving throws,
We can do debuffs.
read thoughts on you, and then say, what's the password? And then you think of the password and they just get it out of your head. They're much less likely to actually torture you. Violate your privacy and your individual rights? Sure. Inflict hideous screaming pain? Not often.
Yeah, they're more Patriot Act than Guantanamo Bay.
But not never is what you're saying, though. That's what I hear.
I don't think they've ever used painful torture while you've been around. They have done things to get information out of people's brains that were not without side effects.
Well, I guess we should have a look at what the more tame end of curses is to begin with before we go straight to Guantanamo Bay.
Consider this also. You asked what the range of curses are.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's like, I can see you.
Oh, but we're in a high magic induction field.
You're in a high magic induction field. And there is a reason why you don't want somebody to have a piece of your hair, right?
Yeah.
Like long distance curses and stuff. That's one of the whole reasons why you'd be like, I'm going to put your fingernail clippings in this voodoo doll of you. And like sympathetic magic, having a piece of somebody or something like with that kind of a link allows you to create a long distance effect.
What do I have of Alex's?
We do have probably some of his shit, right?
I mean, his bed's been untouched, man.
Definitely do,
I mean, Athel will quickly pull Garnet aside and like, I mean, if you're trying to do curses at range, like, probably got a bunch of Alex's hair. You know,
I like
his dragon.
take the book down. I have this one curse. It's called the Anoris curse. It causes the flesh of a victim's mouth to knit together and seal itself shut. The victim can breathe through his nostrils or similar orifices, but cannot speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it can't eat or drink.
They'll starve to death.
Yeah. Isn't that great? Can't talk shit or eat. That's the worst.
It's like Garnet's nightmare and Ariana's nightmare combined.
I mean, the odds that Alex isn't in like a place that's highly magically protected against that kind of intrusion are very low. Given
Cruciatic sympathy causes the target to feel pain and suffering it inflicts onto others.
Slow, but not impossible.
And it takes half the damage it inflicts on anyone else.
Oh.
That's so fun. How do we send this in like a letter? We like anthrax that?
I'm more thinking that when you get the shadow energy from this high magic circle, maybe there's a world where the range of this curse can be extended? I mean, I guess we're getting more into the realms of like voodoo here, which I don't know if that's a subclass of shadow.
It's just sympathetic magic. Sympathetic magic, like scrying, uses sympathetic magic because if you have a piece of them, it's easier for you to scry on them. Like it's applicable to almost all forms of magic.
Ah.
I mean, a curse is mainly transmitted through a vocal component, so what if we just send a really nasty sending with a curse on it? Fuck you. And then it's like a curse, you know?
I mean, worth trying, even if it doesn't quite land.
But I think this is too complicated. I feel like they told us to go study and we just made the most complicated thing possible.
We've got the simple one. Now we're adding our complexity, you know?
Yeah,
We're
well,
resource maxing.
yeah.
2 birds, you know, one stone.
What's blood alchemy without a little bit of cursing? You just
Blood
want to
alchemy.
do blood alchemy and then everything be okay?
Victim begins to age in reverse. We could use this on Elle now.
She's an elf. She's fine.
Eleanor's
She's
probably
got a
several
couple.
hundred years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, why would you use it on Eleanor? What, do you want her to become a... do you want a bestie in several hundred years?
Yeah.
Who's like the same age as you? You can both be in your glorious, I don't know, 60s together?
I'm not 60. I think she could lose her fucking attitude by dropping a couple years. I feel like making you old makes you mean.
She's
I'm
jaded in her
teenage
years.
Elle now is a ray of fucking sunshine.
Well, you're doing great at like 15 for being mean.
Well, I'll grow out of it and
Also-
back into it.
Might make her meaner, you know. She'll mentally still be where she is.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just-
Oh.
The bell curve of arsehole, I forgot.
So she'll just get hotter.
Yeah, which will make her more, you know, more mean. Maybe she'll get
That's
such a big ego.
true.
You can't sit with us.
I was trying to find a fun, like, good curse, but turns out curses are all bad.
Good curse. Yeah, sounds like an oxymoron.
I know. I just thought it was like, oh, if I had brittle bones, but then I had like awesome giant strength, like I'd take that trade.
Oh, every
But
time
there's
you
no
punch
strength.
someone,
not a
you
curse,
just
that's a
shatter into
drawback.
dust.
Well,
Can I convince you to look for the word boon in there, potentially?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the ones that are prefixed with curse probably will have that negative
Probably,
vibe.
Yeah.
but the spell
As
is called
curses
bestow
do.
curse, not bestow bitches. I can't help you.
Ooh.
I would cast
Ooh.
repel maidens upon thee, but I see another wizard has beat me to it.
So, what are we voting on? What are we doing?
If you don't have a curse you want to do, you
I
can just do
don't.
any of your other shadow magic spells and it should work just fine.
Okay. I'll shadow
Yeah.
form. I'll take it.
It's
I mean, we can do this as soon as possible, and if it doesn't work, well, there's always more of Garnet's blood for a while.
true. Good idea, though. On the curse, we can circle back to that at some point.
I'm
I
not a
think.
fucking cow, guys. You can't just take my blood. This is important.
I mean, people probably can't take your blood, not without significant.
Yeah, you'd have to
combat.
spill it, which
Yeah.
I've done quite a few times actually. But
You can still give your blood, though. You know, it's not taken. Or, you know.
If it comes with lollipops, I guess I will do that.
True. They should be fully stocked now. They
I mean,
recognize
to be
the
fair, the
importance.
curse was your idea. I feel like it's not too much to ask that you contribute that to it.
Yeah. There's someone we really didn't like. I mean, at the school, like Christ. But like, if we were to have something fun like that, but
Oh shit!
what?
We should keep this in mind for when Mia Hathor finds out.
Oh, we could curse him.
Keep that in mind when you read through those curses next
Okay, I'm
time.
gonna keep reading. Broken bone.
But it's still not a priority. Okay.
Okay.
The curse of unsealed desks, perhaps.
All right.
Deadly diminution.
Make them small.
Diminution?
They
Yeah.
diminish in height, weight, and strength as the curse causes them to shrink more and more each day. Little pocket Miahetto. Little pocket trader.
New from Hasbro.
Pocket trader.
Hand me this instant, students.
Pull the cord and it'll betray you.
All right. You want to go with the induction, the channeling induction, to just pull the shadow magic out and turn it into something?
Yes.
Think so.
I'll burn a level 3 spell slot for the induction field.
Okay. This will take place in the alchemy laboratory under specific situations. On the day that this is prepared, inside this laboratory, there's a central platform and multiple circles.
I love circles.
Me too.
Embedded in the ground around it, made of various metals and in various protective patterns. Each of these are designed to isolate, seal off, or stabilize planar energies, planar boundaries, elemental powers, etc. All around this room are chalkboards covered with inscriptions, formula, and equations. All attempts to delve into the mysteries of the Emerald Tablets, the new laws of reality that the sovereigns co-wrote together when the dawn ended, the fundamental underlying principles of alchemy. Upon describing your plan, the alchemists, who are not directly involved with this, but will be on immediate standby, each of them casting detect magic so that they can analyze the situation, running some of the estimated numbers along the side. But even though Esoterra is their area of expertise, the power of the dawn predates their own magic. And that power falls exclusively, in this case, to the Archmage. When all of you enter, they seal off the doors, huge like vaults that sort of just close. And as they do, the pressure in the room changes. And it's almost the exact opposite of when your hair stands on end. It's like the air has been flattened. Sound is dampened. This room is sealed and clean, both of materials and of spiritual forces. They set the vial of blood on the central pillar, and there is a gap between the circles, which is bare, where other magics can be performed without outside interference. And it is here that they invite you to set up the induction. Now, are you the only one who is casting that spell?
I
No.
assume I'm the only one who needs to create the induction field, and everyone else can join it freely.
They have to cast a spell too to join.
Ah.
Otherwise, you can manipulate spells that are cast within it, but you can't. They can't manipulate spells.
Well, if we don't have anything else going on today, it might be worth having Master just help and.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. Takes all of you only 18 seconds to sort of. Elle now will not be joining the circle. She only has one job in this, and she does not want to mess any of you up because she needs to focus on what she has to do. The staff of Ioth she places on the ground directly before her, and then lets go, but thin golden tendrils, wires almost, of magic still connected to her hands. And as she shuts her eyes, the ritual performed at the beginning of the new school year, the ritual that bestowed upon her the title and power of Archmage, allows her to tap into the ambient wild, unformed energy that infuses the school. She does it very slowly, one breath at a time, inhaling and breathing out. And with each breath, a golden shimmer, a thin flicker in the air begins to form around but not touching the blood itself. It takes a full minute as she's just barely siphoning the tiniest amount, bit by bit by bit. And then at last, when she's ready, she opens her eyes again, looks briefly at each of you, just checking to make sure that you're ready. And as she does, you see not a glimmering light within, but reflected, though there is no such burning golden light in this room. The gleam of it reflected off of her eyes as she calls upon this power. When each of you indicate that you're ready, she closes her hands together, and the mist coalesces and collapses in on the vial of Garnet's blood. There is a light. There is a darkness. And there's a short break. We'll be right back with more Book of Dawn Ioth Academy when we return.
No.
Damn.
Magical edging.
Worry about that. Oh no. Well, actually, I you can worry about that now. I mentioned it. That's the nigh invulnerable Kraken that shipwrecked you on this island. Yeah, but he's fine now. He's just minding his own business, chilling, going around the ring.
Okay. He's friendly, right?
I'll get back to you on that one, Haruka.
Wait, don't switch the.
I take a closer look, but do not touch it.
Again, it's about yay big, beautifully carved, smells like fresh cedar. Like it's very aromatic with that almost sweet wood smell, and clearly hand carved, handcrafted.
Oh my God.
The lid slides off. It's carved into grooves on top of the box.
Could be a mirror in there.
Okay, who did that?
My bad. I just
Who
saw a
did
card. I thought it was cool. I was not supposed to click that.
This is why we don't let you drive the car.
It was just like, cool, there's cards.
And it was the void too. That's like.
Oh.
As you yeet that rock with that alien on it, I don't want to die. As he, like Krillin and DBZ just explodes.
Another little glowy worm crawls out. Timothy!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unbeknownst to you, you've killed the mayor of the Worms town. He had brought peace and prosperity to his new empire, but now their society cast adrift on an asteroid, leaderless, falls into chaos once again, and decays from within. And
Look, sometimes I don't know my own strength. I'm sorry.
And the Marid, this genie, shouldn't be able to arrive here. Ioth Academy is still technically protected by the dome, even if it's weakened. But it caught. I know, yeah, most protected place on Earth. Been attacked 12 times this year. Sue me.
Yeah. Safe, smile.
Exactly. Any safers in chat? But the Marid essentially hitchhiked on that pole of magic. When the water elemental came up, it sort of followed along with it. It drafted behind it, and that's how it was able to arrive. And there's your natural 20.
I just like the part where you say you came down a pole. I just stuck to that. Elemental stripper! Fuck!
Can I get fan art of Duba pole dancing, please? I'm going to file a request for that.
Duba Queen.
Tuba cheeks.
Mechanical features of a barbarian, which basically means that once per day you can go into a rage, which increases your physical combat prowess.
Once? Only one time?
Mechanically speaking.
Okay.
Twice. No, it's twice per day. Twice per day, you can take your normal baseline rage and make it a actually mechanically useful rage. It increases your prowess in hand-to-hand combat, makes you resistant to damage. It doesn't make you better at shooting things. It makes you better at physically beating the crap out of people.
It doesn't make me better at shooting things.
Nope.
Son of a bitch! I'm going into a rage.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so there's no monsters, and you have now entered a rage. You may do one more rage today. If you stop attacking or taking damage, your rage will end.
I'm gonna jerk off.
Well, we can get you in contact with our administrator, and we can sort out this issue. But we do have to head on inside for an important matter.
Yep. Important matter is going to have to wait. Sorry. Slight matter of defamation of character. No, I've been read in entirely on your little mechanical big gob that you crafted up. And having my name bandied about inside that big fancy school of yours, getting all sorts of unwanted attention from the big horned man himself. Ooh. Ooh.
Well, you sound and look like an asshole, so I feel like we did you a favor.
The negotiator, everybody.
me and Ariana just swap characters for a second. Sorry, gotta go in. Fuck you, asshole.
Gone full Zara here for a moment. It doesn't do anything for you.
Oh.
Yep. Sorry. It doesn't stack to become immunity.
Okay.
They give you one anyways because like they don't necessarily know. But yeah, everybody now has one potion of necrotic resistance.
I'll just slide mine over to Athalor.
All right, you have 2 potions of necrotic resistance.
You got a lot of potions on you. You're the potion guy.
Thanks. I didn't elect to become a potions guy, but hey, I'm not that magical anymore. So might as
Yeah,
well.
what else do you do? Am I right? So...
I'll carry the keg.
Got a celebration Gatorade that you can hose us with after. Iron flask.
Pop a corn out.
Don't ever do that motion again.
Why?
Disadvantage.
I just remembered. This is the wrong deck of cards.
That's a great excuse.
I left the correct one just outside.
As persuasive and convincing as that sounds, I'm going to have you roll a deception check.
Okay. 32.
Oh. You have carte blanche aside from that.
Cool. So thinking kind of like, because it's pocket dimension and shape shifting, but maybe it's kind of like a Venom-esque arrangement where it's a dimensional parasite that so like when he absorbs things into his hand, maybe it's like a fucking, oh no, I've done it again. Maybe it's a teethy hand that like a toothy hole.
Could you please just once not consort with otherworldly powers from beyond the scope of human imagination? Just once, light day.
I refuse. There's too much empty headspace here with my lack of a brain to not have another thing in there.
All right, champions, round number 3. Fight.
I would like to cast Fuck This at 3rd level.
You could certainly try.
I'll cast an invisibility at 2nd level.
It's the appropriate name for it. Fuck this, I'm out. We're renaming invisibility.
Lemon Kiwi, I noticed something freaking ridiculous about Una.
What?
Under the familiar section, it talks about how, while the 2 of you are bonded, you can sense what it senses as long as you're within a mile of each other, right?
Right.
When Una's within 10 feet of you, you gain the benefits of magic resistance. You have advantage on all saving throws against spells and magical effects whenever Una's within 10 feet of you.
Oh, that's broken.
1 year later! Reading comprehension 20 inch, by the way.
Holds him like a special.
This is my special magical resistance pet.
The power of bird compel. As the energies of dawn suffuse the blood, continuing both the corruption of the void and the spark of the divine, there is a bright light. There is a darkness. You see veins or roots or lightning arcing through the vial of blood. And at that exact moment, what do you do?
I activate the channel.
Okay.
To make the energy available for harnessing.
Roll a spellcraft check, please. Under normal
Oh,
circumstances, if you were making your own magic available, you wouldn't have to roll this. But you are manipulating an external source.
25.
25. That's plenty.
The spells have been crafted.
Roll a spellcraft check, please. 22. Okay. You tap into the power, siphoning through this spark. As this burst of energy emits, there's different Athlor, there's different tones, there's different notes to it. High trumpets, as well as deep rumbling. That subsonic sound they always put in horror movies that you can't quite hear but makes you feel uneasy. Along with the pulse of life and the smell, the far off familiar smell of the earth's blood, though so much thinner, so much more diluted. You take all of that and connect all of that power into the induction field and make it available. Garnet, as you reach out, as you've been taught, to use your own inner reserves of power to draw shadows towards you and through you, that shadow is pulled out as it emerges, bursting from the reaction. It flows out, it flows through you, and out into darkness that projects away from your body. But as you do that, you feel death.
Oh my god.
You're not dying. But you have been a vessel for the power of the cycle, birth, life, death, and renewal. And there is death here. It's only there for a moment. And then it's gone. Out into the spell, the shadows that you cast around you. For everyone else, there's just a flare of light, a blink of darkness, and it's over. The alchemists wait for a moment, just making sure that nobody's exploded and nothing has happened, before moving in with tongs to take the sample of blood. And as they do, all of you see that it has changed. Roll perception checks for me. You're getting something, no matter what.
Perceive. Oh, nice eyes.
21 for Garnet, 16 for Athalor. Okay. Garnet, you see that the color of the blood has changed. It was preserved magically before, so it was as bright and red as if it was freshly spilled. But after that reaction, it's now dull and dark, like old blood. Athalor, you see shimmering flecks of gleaming light inside of it. Sunlight floating suspended in this sample.
Ooh.
Mason, you didn't roll, so you don't see shit.
Wait,
Mason,
did I not?
Mason rolled 21.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, the Dungeon Master didn't scroll down, so the Dungeon Master didn't see shit.
You didn't perceive the roll.
That's true. It's true. You see shimmering around it, almost like heat waves, for a moment.
Okay.
All that is before they take the tongs and they hustle away with it so that they can conduct an analysis to see if it has in fact been purified, if the correct energy is in there now, so on and so forth.
I've got a good feeling about this.
Well, that was easy. We're really getting good at the circle stuff.
What did you end up casting, by the way?
The shadow form. I forgot that I forgot about this feat too, where I've been already integrating shadow magic, absorbing shadow magic.
You could have just eaten it.
I could have just literally eaten it, but we had to be...
Unfortunately, only you have your character sheet.
Well, I thought maybe the shadow form would still, because I don't know if like passing through skin, if that would hurt or not. So I feel like shadow form would just make it more, like.
With your gloaming feast by any chance, can you eat all of a shadow in your blood and just become pure again?
It's not shadow in her blood, it's void in her blood. It's different.
Yeah. Oh, we're making it shadow from the dawn stuff.
But it says, oh yeah, the void corruption is what.
Void is yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
Void is not energy; it's absence.
I'm gonna look over after the alchemists. How's the hubbub over there? Is it like a team of them? How are they reacting to the product delivered?
Well, a couple of them had detect magic up and were scanning the entire time. Give me an insight check.
All right, where did I put that character sheet? I only just rolled. Here we are. 17.
Okay. Some of them are concerned. Some of them are concerned, and you can hear them talking about the vitality has been lost, and there's possible damage from the reaction. But it's not this. There is energy there. There is absolutely energy there. So we just need to. They're kind of
purifying.
Yeah, they're exactly. It's almost a physical process now that they have to conduct. But the fact that the color of the blood changed to dead blood is concerning to them.
So what we need is to have a fresher sample from Garnet and know exactly how to purify it.
It's going to take them some time to get through the results. Elle now snaps at them that there is not a whole lot of time. Please be quick. They will do their very best, but having a bunch of non-alchemists leaning over their shoulders doesn't make the process go any faster, Archmage. So go do Archmage things, please.
Have they ever done anything like this before?
No.
Since we were able to siphon the shadow magic, could we not just siphon the void magic? I feel like I asked you at one point if we could transfer void corruption, and you said that was maybe possible. So could I just transfer the void corruption from the blood to something else?
How would you go about doing that?
High magic field of something.
Oh, well, that's where the high magic
That's
comes
where the
in,
high
Dungeon
magic.
Master of mine.
You want to get high with magic?
I want to get high magic.
It's absolutely something that you could look into doing. They're not. This experiment hasn't necessarily failed. The results are inconclusive.
Question.
Yes.
Gilghost is a wizard, right?
Correct.
She doesn't know wish, does she?
I wish the shit was over. Yeah, just wish a new mantle. What the fuck?
You could ask her that question, but she hasn't brought it up.
Yeah, because as far as I'm aware, wishes are quite a bit more limited in terms of mechanics than it is.
Surely she would have
Hand-wavy.
wished something at this point if she had a wish.
Malachi didn't have to die.
Is this an in-character question, Athalor? Even if you're not asking her, is Athalor wondering this?
Yeah, Athalor was wondering about this because, like, there are limits to the power of wish, but Athalor's thinking that, like, if we could tap into that to have, like, a mega restoration. Greater restoration has been able to cleanse void corruption.
Mm-hmm.
What about giga restoration?
So, roll an Arcana check for me.
It's true that greater restoration already works on void corruption.
Yeah.
I guess technically that would just be fine.
Let me guidance myself.
Mm-hmm.
Can I hit the 25? 24.
So there are controlled usages of wish, but you don't necessarily have to limit yourself to that. You can try to accomplish bigger things. The thing about wish is it is dawn magic. Because you are tapping into dawn magic to change reality. Tapping into a time when reality was subject to change just by the wishes of anybody. You want to think about what the Dawn War was like? It was a wish war. Anyone could use wish. It was just a matter of whose will was stronger. So, as a child of Luminius, it is almost certain that Gelgeis can cast wish. Every time somebody casts wish, the total supply of dawn magic in the world is diminished. And it cannot be restored.
Okay, so maybe not so much of a good idea.
It is an absolute in case of emergency. Except when assholes get their hands on it and just wish for whatever they want. In which case, they're making the world a less bright and glorious place in exchange for their own desires.
Oh, artificers can cast greater restoration. It's only 5th level.
Cyrus has been making potions of greater restoration, but I don't know how long that takes for him. He's been slowly working on those.
Theoretical question on the void corruption, not to like transfer it from Garnet to someone else, but theoretically with high magic, with the redirect thing, if Garnet was like, if the circle was set up and did something from the book that like caused void corruption or whatever caused void corruption and had that like redirect going to someone else, could it like forcefully void corrupt someone else with that?
You could steal someone's reality to fuel your void spell.
Because like void corruption is like instead of using spell slots or like magic, you're using like, I've interpreted it as like a life essence. Like you trade parts of your soul to accomplish something. So like the high magic circle is taking from a source. So if that source was someone's soul, I feel like we've talked about being able to just voluntarily void corrupt, I guess, in order to contribute. But
yeah, somebody else could tank the void corruption or incur additional void. Like if they were voluntarily doing it, they could do that. Uzulites regularly practice mortal sacrifice in order to fuel magic with the vital and psychic energy of the people they are sacrificing. If this thought occurs to Mason, there is no reason why he would believe it's not possible.
Okay,
So remember that
it leads down a dark, dangerous path, I think.
Remember that the void is, again, annihilation. So when you tap into the power of the void, you are annihilating parts of yourself or causing parts of yourself, mind, body, and soul to become little tiny gateways to annihilation. That is what void corruption is. You are touching nothing and becoming a conduit of nothing.
Mason probably thinks of this concept similarly to how Gilgas thinks about like using wish, it's like probably just in extreme circumstances. Like has the thought, I think, but it's like let's not put that idea in Garnet's head for now. But maybe later, maybe later. So I think if Garnet, you know, was in one of those like, you know, fuck everything kind of moods, like yeah, let's just get hella people and just void corrupt them and just go crazy.
Create a death
Void
laser.
School.
Yeah.
Void School. Void
Welcome to
Academy.
Garnet Void School.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Literally.
What happens when you max out void corruption?
Bad shit.
There are certain thresholds where once you cross that threshold, you are permanently changed, your personality for the most part. And then it kind of goes back to 0. And then if you cross that threshold, you prestige void corruption.
Void prestige.
You void prestige. And that's the level at which like you kind of can't go back because it's psychological as much as anything else at that point. Like it's not just a physical modification to your body. It's like you are now fucked up by tapping into nothingness too much. Like you have post-traumatic void disorder. Can you get therapy for that? Yeah, but you'll never not have had it. It's like how an alcoholic can be sober, but not an alcoholic.
I'm just thinking about our overall access to greater restoration and anti-void corruption measures. Because it certainly seems easier to remove void corruption with medicine than it does with dawn magic if we require any future.
So, after analysis is conducted upon the blood sample, they are happy to report that your magic was successful.
Yay.
Ooh.
The divine and fire and air elements of the blood have been extracted. But the vital energy the reaction was destructive to the blood itself. Could I get each of you to roll medicine checks, please?
Oh boy.
Huge. I'll luck die for fun. Well, I'll see what everyone else gets.
Maybe a circle of mental blessings.
Can I insight the alchemist as to see like what kind of like implications they're like, I don't know, thinking if anything about this whole like process.
That's an 11 medicine.
I'll read.
Much better at breaking bodies than fixing them.
So it's kind of hard to get a read on them because they're basically like, yeah, mission accomplished. We got what we needed. Great.
Okay.
We didn't need the extra vital energy. That's much easier to get a hold of than everything else.
And it can be combined easily with the Realtor's blood? Oh.
A funny word, easily. But we can start
doable.
working on that. We can start working on that next.
Cool. Yeah. So we've got to find a raging wind and the light of the sky. Somewhere up in the far north.
Yeah.
Scouting that is going to be an ass.
But both of those just location things, right? So we don't need to like acquire anything else.
You might have to acquire the light of heaven.
Light of heaven?
Yeah, with celestial lights.
Yeah.
The radiant
What,
aurora
in like a jar?
That could work.
I mean, we have flown to the moon. I guess it's not out of the question.
I mean, it's possible to literally put lightning in a bottle. You just need a magic bottle.
Okay, so maybe in this world we get this magic bottle, fill it with the light of heaven, put the frozen heart inside, pour on the blood of the father, and then
shake it up, you know, boom.
Shaken or stirred.
And then I don't know, release it up into the sky into the raging winds or something.
And then
is that how alchemy
mantle.
works? I don't know how to craft the godly mantle.
The alchemy portion of this, while alchemical principles apply to the entire operation, we are mostly focused on the blood energy bit, replicating the blood of The actual
Right.
ritual, you know who might be good for that one? Saparziku. Divine ascensions and things. It's
gonna have to talk to them again.
I imagine they're gonna want to be invited.
You know who else would be good at this? Irelak.
Yeah,
potentially.
actually. Very much so.
I guess
Can
they
we
are going
just
to want to be invited.
Can't we just ask like some diviners to go through history and just look at how it was made in the first place somehow?
Yeah. The sovereign of the skies willed it to be and
Wow.
divested a part of himself and created it.
That's like cheating.
It's in the emerald tablets. It's encoded. The existence of the North Wind is indicated by the very laws of reality, which is why it's a slight problem that it no longer exists. But as far as we know, the laws of reality have never been rewritten. So kind of an unexplored territory here.
We're making it up as we go along.
I do have a spell that can control light. If there was a
That could
way
be an excellent seed for capturing some of the lights of heaven, actually.
What spell is that?
It just changes the brightness of it, but I'm wondering if I could tweak it so that I could control this
Capture the
amount.
brightness.
Absolutely. You know, you were talking with Alozrin about vessels and sympathetic vessels. Like you want to store shadow energy, you need something with a kind of a resonance with that, like a black pearl, a black opal, woven black silk, something like that. If you come up with a properly prepared vessel, then this effect could be part of the recipe for containing it. Absolutely.
Good idea. Mason, this is a really weird and probably fruitless question.
I'm excited for it.
When you were... And fuck you again for this, by the way. When you were in Terra Nimbus...
All right, yeah.
It didn't happen to be any maps of the mortal world, right? That had any landmarks in the north?
Maps of the mortal world.
Yeah, you know how like those godly people tend to like, oh, here's a map of my domain up on the wall and shit.
Well, let me think back to being inside of the throne room or whatever. Was there anything like that?
If there was one, you didn't see it.
Yeah, I was
kind of distracted by
preoccupied.
being in the presence of a god.
Yeah, and he's pretty upset with me. I didn't see anything.
Yes, sorry, that wasn't fair. I just want to say fuck you for that again.
Yeah, no, I get it. I won't live that one down. It just you just try to talk to Big V up there, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't know if this is working, and then you just go to Terra Nimbus, and then fuck me, my bad.
Speaking of fucking, I mean, Lurkale has like been over there. Maybe she sees like a map or points of interest in the Shadow World that maybe could be.
Would Shadow World
Same.
map be? Yeah, would that?
I mean, it mirrors the real world. I just don't know if it'll be like light.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't mirror the real world. It's a shadow of the real world. The mirror world mirrors the real
Oh, actually, it's. I can just ask her if she's seen any cool maps lately.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a place there that's at least of significance enough to the Stormfather that it would be marked out somewhere, then it probably at least correlates to somewhere in the
What are
north that we
we-
could try and triangulate.
What am I asking for? A location of light?
Yeah, maybe a holy site. Oh, well, we just look up for the light. We'll have to go to the north for that. But we want, I guess, some kind of holy site to the Stormfather where we can find the Raging Wind. Probably also up in the north.
Okay. I use my sending stone to contact Lurkale and.
You fucking.
Hey! Hope I'm not interrupting. I should actually count this. Have you seen a map about raging winds or holy sites? That's 16. Thanks, bye. In the north. I said in the north, I think. Yeah.
It's in the north.
Yeah.
Soon, my jewel, not now.
Well, what did she say?
She said not now. Why'd she dismiss me?
Do you think that they're...
I send back, are you in danger? Are you okay?
Is that what you say? Are you in danger? Are you okay?
Yeah.
She doesn't respond.
Guys, I think something's wrong. She's not responding to me.
Does she ever not respond typically, or
She always responds to me.
every single time? Not once has she left you on red?
No.
Oh. Maybe something is wrong.
What time
Or
is
she's
it?
really busy, preoccupied.
It could be any time that you want at this point.
Well, if it was late at night, I'd be more sus. If it was during the day, less sus, I
You're
guess.
probably talking more during the day than late at night as a group, right?
Yeah.
Like, not certainly, but probably.
Mason's always out off during the night with GF, you know.
Wait, you have a scrying orb.
That's true. Yeah.
We could scratch. Can you just
Scribe.
Scry works in the
Hanson.
same plane of
Scry
existence.
across
If she's in the
planes.
plane of shadow, it won't work.
Oh, good. So we have to go sit in fucking Shadow Academy and do this.
I just.
Oh.
Oh, well, I guess you can try Lurkalay first. Do you have something of Lurkalay's? A pin?
Sending stone.
Oh.
Is that hers? Oh,
Well, it's ours. I don't know.
I mean,
if
she
it
gave it.
counts.
She gave it to you, right?
Yeah, I think.
okay. I mean, if
There
that's
you
the
go.
case, yeah, I can
Try
try.
it.
I'll try
Okay.
scrying.
You start scrying. You start working on the Shadow Gateway.
Just do a little quick in and out of the portal.
Oh, I hate to. Oh no, can we have a couple wardens?
You don't trust me to protect you? I'm big and strong.
I trust you to protect me, but I trust them as well. And there's room enough in my life to trust two entities to protect me.
They're gonna be traumatized. You're gonna send a bunch of wardens who have never been to the Shadow Realm into the Shadow Realm.
They're warriors, Lemon.
Who's Lemon? Just Why do you call it a lemon?
They're warriors, you lemon.
You're a fucking lemon. She starts casting her game.
Okay. Are you going after the wardens?
They're like around.
Yeah, like if there are any local ones who like, if there are like two who could come with us through the Shadow Gateway, like we're not planning on doing an expedition anywhere, just to be able to go there for 10 minutes.
So remember, there's only one place that you can access the shadow plane from in the academy.
Oh yeah, we got to go into that stupid room.
Oh,
all right. I'm just gonna lead mantra along by a single hand while scrying.
Oh yeah, into
Just
the
walking
training room
around.
thing.
Yeah, let me drop you in there. Give me a moment.
I forgot we are in a sealed location.
Mm-hmm.
For
I've
good
deleted a
reason.
ton of people. This place is mad crowded.
It's not that I don't trust her or think she's safe. I just, want to make sure she is. Like, maybe he doesn't take kindly to absences. There was a lot of whipping and weird shit going on over there, so just making sure that she's the one doing it.
Excuse me, whipping and weird shit.
What the?
I don't know. It was something about how I was gonna find out when I'm older, and I just didn't bother to ask. I figured there's probably a book on it somewhere, but I've been busy.
Oh. Okay. Right. So we'll wait to see if Mantra can see if Lurkalay's in the mortal plane. If not, we'll go through a Shadow Gateway. We'll try to scry again, get the information, and then we won't run off into the Shadow Plane unassisted and not telling anyone where we are. Right?
Or but me and Mason both channeling on spells.
Sounds,
what?
Sure. Sounds good, man. Yeah.
Bro's just yapping.
What's Bro yapping about? I don't
Just like,
know.
looks to what is that? Right.
You speak nothing of this, Jerry. You tell no one.
Yep.
It's our secret.
Our secret.
If you want to be part of the Shadow Wizard Money Gang, rule number 1: never talk about Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
It's probably too big for a portal.
Just a little one.
Ooh, cool.
Okay. After 10 minutes, the scrying fails.
Nothing.
Is there an error code?
Error code. Nothing showed up.
It fails the way that it would fail if they were. Well, no, it just fails. They don't normally give error codes.
No postcode.
All right, well, let's get this over with, and she'll step in.
Oh,
All right.
fuck me.
We go again.
In we go.
Hold on. I refreshed the page, and it refreshed me to War of the Sun instead of Ioth Academy.
What the heck?
Well, we find an army.
Not anymore. Actually, yeah, you would be more in the right place for an army.
I just realized that like the Shadow Realm is essentially how we do our nether transport. Like from
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, true.
Only just clicked with me.
The block
just like a
distance is
descaled
a
map.
factor of, yeah, exactly. No, it's just very much the nether.
It's been Minecraft the whole time.
You come out of a Shadow Realm, you find Jack Black as Steve.
Oh god.
Wait, what part of load Ioth Academy not War? All right, you know what? Fine, I can.
You'll force my hand, mortal.
Force my hand. You step through to the other side, and you are in a grayscale version of this very room. Instead of stairway up and stairway down, there is just a trapdoor on the floor, marked with runes of protection and sealing. It's cold in here. It's always at least a little cold in the plane of shadow. And the gateway to the other side, where it was a dark, swirling gate on one side, it's now a bright, glaring white door on this side.
Are there any telltale signs in this version of a Shadow Realm of what Garnet and Lurkley have been learning?
No, I don't think so. But there's a knock at the trapdoor.
Is that normal? Do you have staff on this side?
Let's just pretend no one's home. How's your scrying going?
It's still.
He has to redo the whole thing again.
10 minutes, please.
Oh, fuck.
Please wait while the scry commences.
Well, maybe they'll go away.
Your scry is important to us.
Please leave feedback after the call.
Cherry, just go see who it is.
Halt! Who goes there?
You start with hello.
You do shadow magic stuff, and I'll do warden stuff, all right?
Okay.
That's fair.
Halt! Who goes there?
Oh no, not this again.
Who the fuck is that? Cherry, who is it?
Your guess is as good as mine.
If that trapdoor opens, Garnet, use your dog thing.
Okay. Well, it can't. It's got like wards and stuff on it. It's fine. Jerry, just tell them, ask them their name.
Give me your name. Be you friend or foe?
Can you be normal?
Who is it?
I think they need to be normal.
Can I inspect these runes and see if they are reacting at all to the the assault on the door?
Mm-hmm. They seem to be holding just fine.
9.
With a 9.
Pretty sure we're good. I think we're patience is alright.
Mason, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wish they would shut the fuck up, actually. Constitution save?
Constitution saving throw, yeah.
19.
You have
filtering it
maintained
out.
your concentration.
Anyone have earmuffs or something?
Or maybe some kind of silence, Garnet?
Well, I don't want to accidentally hit anything that shouldn't be silenced.
You just silence me, honestly.
I wish I could do that.
Toy soldiers! Toy soldiers!
I'm gonna just earmuff Mason. Oh wait, I can actually just deafen you with my temporary curse
Oh. Perfect.
for a minute.
Ow.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, well don't take the damage. Okay, I don't know why that damage is so
It's a
high.
word of void speech. It doesn't have like a set to stun.
I guess I can just willingly fail, right?
You're level 5. It's 2d6.
Oh dear.
Oh, well.
You can willingly save. You can willingly fail.
It's probably a net positive.
Great. Take 2d6 points of psychic
Yeah.
damage.
Roll the damage, Garnet, please. See how much this fucking hurts.
Yeah, I already did.
Not Garnet damage rolls.
Oh, is there damage?
Oh, yeah, 9.
Oh, that's above. True. 9
4
down.
and 5. Smile.
Like, ow. Just thumbs up. Can't hear shit. Alright.
Where have all the toy soldiers gone?
Are you a toy soldier, Jerry? Jerry, don't let them in, okay?
No shit.
Okay, I was just making sure you knew.
When did you last see toy soldiers?
When did you last see toy soldiers?
I'm like 16. I don't play with toy soldiers anymore.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Ugh, I hate it here. Are you done? Are you done
Kind
yet?
that
Oh, yeah,
bleed
he's
and
done.
die. The best toys.
Oh, well, he's weird.
See a bunch of people missing their left hands?
I saw a bunch with new ones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I told you guys about that. Wait, are they new
Toy
here?
soldiers. Toy soldiers.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Jerry, stand your ground.
Wherever are they going? Wherever are they going?
Jerry, intimidate them.
Shut the fuck up!
Wow.
Good job, Jerry.
Did it work?
Shut the fuck up!
Oh, well, now they're mocking you. Well.
Oh, we tried.
Where are they going? Are they going home?
I'm gonna cast a minor illusion, and I'm just gonna play like some music, but louder. In just this area, just kind of drown out the sound of this fucking guy.
Okay. I would make you roll another concentration check, Mason, but you're deafened. You can't hear anything.
So you just see us like bobbing our heads.
What's going on?
So after another scrying period, the scrying sphere ripples, and then all you see
is it rated R?
All you see is darkness, but not like an infinite shapeless darkness, more like a dark curtain. This is a private sanctum spell.
What the
It is
fuck?
rated R in there. I see.
What do you see, Mason?
A lot of nothing. They have some kind of block sanctum.
Oh, she's inside something like Kalor's course or
Yeah,
equivalent.
something of the sort.
How
Wouldn't
long does
surprise me
scrying
if-
last again?
That's a good
Because
question.
the spell doesn't fail; it just doesn't show anything.
10. Wait. 10. Yeah, 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll
After
keep this guy going. Yeah.
After 7 minutes, the curtain parts. It's not a real curtain, though. And you see Lurkale adjusting her headdress and licking blood off of her fingers.
Hey, yo.
Oh, damn!
Oh my god. Like sexily or like
Yes.
hungrily?
Oh my
Okay.
god, she's learned sensor bars at level 2.
Oh, there's Lurkale. What is she? Is that blood?
Oh, let me see.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
that is blood. She. Oh.
Drinking his blood? Gross.
I mean, don't forget that you
someone's
kind
blood.
of brought her into reality by feeding her the blood of a shadow dog.
Yeah, maybe that's like her
Yeah, but
thing.
does she check him for diseases?
Do you think it's a problem if she ingests the blood of a shadow god?
She gets the big V.
Do we see like Vinder's feet?
No, she seems to have entered a different room.
Oh, she's in the big
Exited
bar.
the room with the private sanctum. She is dressed.
Mm.
She is adjusting her headdress, like I said. And she also has a curved and barbed knife dripping with blood.
I'm gonna send her a message. Like, you know how when you're like, you're spying on someone, you got binoculars and you're like phoning them up, like, what you doing? I'm gonna message her and be like, so what are you doing?
She dropped him the call. She just, on my side, she dropped him the call.
Yeah, Lurkle just instantly went.
Rejected. I cast DC at level 9. Well, we're gonna have to wait to see if she reconnects before we know what she said in response.
Oh boy, what's the outside guy saying?
Oh, do you want to listen in on him?
Yeah. We'll fill the time while Garnet reconnects.
I know where they're headed. I know who they're talking to. I know what they're doing.
Seems like everyone down here knows a lot of things, huh?
It's not a lot.
There we are.
More than the ones up there.
So your message, apparently she cast power word shut the fuck up disconnect on you. Because you got disconnected for a moment. What was your message to her again?
Oh, I said, what you doing? Are you done yet? I'm trying to talk to you.
Am I annoying?
For now, dear. I'll be coming back soon.
What
look
were
forward to
you
seeing you.
doing?
What you asked me to. Plus a little more.
Well, we're over in our little classroom training area if you want to swing by and chat.
As you're scrying on her, you see her like tilt her head thinking. Looks at
Makes
the door
eye
behind
contact.
her. Grabs her things and walks out the door.
She's gonna leave him unfinished.
Oh, she left.
She didn't respond to me. I don't know if
I'll be there tomorrow, dear. It'll take me a bit of time to make the journey.
tomorrow. I don't want to be here till tomorrow. There's weird people at the door.
We can come back.
Well, I mean, we're not staying, are we?
Fuck no.
Let's get the fuck out of here then.
Come on, Jerry, get your shit. I'm going home.
Say no more.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, guy I named Jerry.
Jerry.
His name is canonically
Warden
Jerry.
Jerry, canon.
Yeah.
The Warden Flanders, Warden Chad, and Warden Jerry. Is it Jerry with a G or Jerry with a J?
Oh, that would be Gary then. It's got to be with a J. Big
Right.
J.
Well, no, I mean, it could be. Hold on. It could be Jerry.
Oh, no. That's
Jerry.
quirky.
We will have no quirksters amongst our wardens.
This is far too whimsical.
Yeah, his parents
a
could
no.
definitely spell.
This is a no whimsy zone. All right. You return to the other side. The horrible knocking at the door and shitposting comes to an end. And it is late at night, and the warden. Anyone want to read me in on what actually just happened?
We were just making sure that an ally of the academy was not in massive trouble.
Got it.
And asked you to come along because, well,
danger potential.
You heard how quickly they came and paid attention to us.
I slide him 1 platinum for your troubles. For your troubles and your discretion.
Roll a persuasion check, please, with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
It's not
Platinum's a lot.
It's not you, it's him.
It's not you, it's me.
He looks at the platinum, kind of looks it over for a moment. Just puts it back, just doing my job.
Okay. I know where you live, Jerry.
We all live here.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. I know where you live too. On my
I
patrol
don't need
route.
to sleep.
Well, you probably should. I don't know. All right. You know what? Just listen. If you're ever gonna do this again, don't. But if you do,
Gotcha.
let me know.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. And he goes off to drink heavily.
Shadow Wizard Jerry gang, let's go.
I assume you all want to take off for the night, sleep or not sleep, depending on your individual predilections.
Sleepy time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love sleeping.
The following morning, though you are expecting to meet with Lurkle that night, Athalor.
Hello.
You receive a sending message from your mother.
Oh boy.
We should speak somewhere safe here in Onderud. When can you?
In Onderud, is the academy not safe? I can come today. Let me know. Love you.
I trust my own security most. Today is good. Just send for me when you get here.
At breakfast. I got a sending from my mother. She wants me to go meet with her in Underwood to tell me something, I guess, sensitive. You want to come?
Oh, you didn't take that as like a private meeting.
I don't know. I guess I still feel like being under it is weird sometimes. With my dad essentially on the run. I mean, I can handle it. I mean, you've got to meet Lurkle anyway. Yeah.
Was it the both of us or just Garnet?
Oh, yeah, to you guys at breakfast.
Both of us. Oh, okay.
Well, you came to my council meeting, so I should go to your council meeting. We can get to know how each other's stuff works. I'll give you tips.
Yeah, I'm willing to come along.
Probably a good idea, since I imagine Brontha and Ander would probably be pretty good allies when we're done. Yeah, right. Elven City.
All right. Later that day, once again, instead of attending classes,
Oh well.
Yeah, fuck class.
you take off to the teleportation circle, arriving once again in the beautiful, elegant, double-sided city of Onderud, hanging above itself. Upon arriving on its metal and glass bridges, surrounded by eldritch knights and arcane archers and abjurers of all manner guarding the teleportation circle, you are identified, made most welcome, and escorted down to the ground floor instead of the palace structure that hangs between the two sides, down to the streets itself and to the artificing district where Nivara has her own workshop. Under armed guard, obviously not as an intruder or a prisoner, but as VIPs who require an escort. The smell of the acid chemicals and the foundries and everything that is constantly at work down there is ameliorated by the magical lanterns set up to illuminate the city that also have small, minor weather magic on them to quickly waft away any noxious fumes. It's impossible not to tell that you're in an industrial area, but this isn't a burning, clanking city of poison gas like Diffraxis would be. This is much more managed. When you see Nivara, she is not wearing her like artificing apron and everything. She's wearing more clothes appropriate to her station. She'll go ahead and at first she goes to like reach for your hands, Athlor, then she stops and does a hug instead.
Thor gives her a big tight hug back.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see you.
She gives you a worried smile, and Mason, Garnet, welcome.
Hello.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us.
I've had food brought in. Go ahead and have a seat. When you sit
Lovely.
down, assuming you do, you notice that there's not a huge spread, and there is not extra chairs set up, but she snaps her fingers and a unseen servant spell activates and starts like bringing out some more stuff to sort of to accommodate.
Hospitality is well appreciated.
It's the least that I can do. I've heard that you lot have been extremely busy.
Yeah, I could say that.
Hopefully for the betterment of all.
Hopefully. She looks at Mason and Garnet for a moment and then looks questioningly at Athlor without actually saying anything.
Athor gives her like a solemn nod, like they know all the stuff.
All right. Before anything else, I need to hear exactly what happened in Nenri.
We leveraged Gelgeis's neuromancy to jump into a shared dream state of a bunch of the hillfolk refugees who had fled. I guess they were going southeast from wherever they were being pushed out by the Ithgans and the rest of the Infernals. We found all manner of horror that Uncle was generating there. And it seemed like they were tapping into the minds of those refugees to use for some ulterior purpose. They were trying to break into the mind of Doakai, one of Ioth's companions. But God knows what reason, but whatever they're looking to do, it's to speed the arrival of that thing that transformed Lamriel to this place.
So what did you do?
We tried to free them. We tried to force Uncle from that dreamscape and get rid of the power they were using to. Well, yeah, and also, Gelgeist may have erased whatever was left of Doakai. They're collecting weapons of mass destruction, and we found them under the Great Wastes of Kara as well. Uncle was there. He was working with a Demagoth or something, trying to steal a weapon known as a Sphere of Annihilation. I don't know if that's something that they could plan to personally use, or if it's for trade or barter, but they are gathering weapons beyond compare.
Have you any idea how many people, Hillfolk?
I don't know, hundreds?
Could I give like a more accurate number since I saw the number in Uncle's mind or whatever?
Yeah.
And I'll probably add details
Mhm.
to the
Yeah.
story depending on those memories. I don't know. what the
Give an
details
intelligence check.
are. Okay. Here, I'll do a lucky dice. We want to be extra fuck. Luck dice are not luckying today.
The luck is not lucking.
The luck is not lucking. All right, she listens carefully. She's thinking about all of this. He said Gelgeist destroyed Doakai, right?
We weren't there for it. We left her alone in the remnants of Doakai's mind. And, well, you know the look someone has when they break something they love.
She seemed to be torn on whether she wanted to actually go through with it or not.
That's what your father meant. After that happened, I heard from Hadorai for the first time in months. He told me that you had destroyed our legacy. When I told you that, you mentioned that if our legacy was imprisoning humans and using them as fodder, then that's no legacy worth having. I don't think he meant that.
Do you think he meant Doakai?
Yes.
What Doakai had there, he'd invented a kind of rune which we recorded.
What is it?
I'm not. I thought kind of like goes over to a table, grabs a scrap of paper, and like does a rough sketch of the door with the tree and the anchor. Seemed like it was something about mirrors.
Do you know anything else?
Looks to mantra.
Involving the rune?
Yes.
Any progress?
A little bit. I was going to check in. Going to do that more so later, but should be some kind of deterrent of mirror things. I think. Like it will prevent you from, I don't know, maybe being replaced.
Really?
Something involving that concept.
Maybe. Okay, slightly conspiratorial. Maybe Father's trying to, instead of maybe not being replaced, maybe not being transformed like Uncle was. Maybe he thinks that whatever they're bringing here, he can maintain his individuality, his physique, his body, his mind. some kind of shielding against that kind of intrusion?
Maybe. Your father never really told me what happened to Lamriel, or what he saw, or anything that resulted from that experiment. There's a lot about him that I thought I knew. That is wrong. But I somehow can't think that he would want that for all of us. If he cares about legacy, about Alfar legacy, about the Onderud legacy, it can't possibly involve that horror in the sky. Can I keep this? She taps the rune. She taps like the table right next to it.
Ideally with some secrecy.
Yes.
It's I know that you don't think Dad would risk that, and maybe he doesn't mean to, but that farm of psychic energy they created was still drawing in the Armageddon tier threat that Gelgeist has seen before and that transformed Uncle.
No, I know. I know he's deeply involved in all of this. I know that he has done things that I never would have thought possible of him. But there has to be more that we don't understand yet. I'm not saying that we should be foolish about this, but if this matters to him, then it matters to me. And I need to know more about it.
Not too much to ask to have him explain it, if he's managed to make contact.
I can try. She's going to go ahead and delicately fold up. She like flips the piece of paper over and then kind of folds it up. Sets it on a counter to the side with both hands. See if we can figure out how many people he has.
Under the lake in Nenri, it would seem.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, I need to understand more. Will you share anything? She looks over at Mason. Will you share anything about this room that you've learned?
Yeah, I can do that. Should have some updates hopefully soon about it.
Good. Thank you. If it is some sort of mirror ward, well, that's something that we would definitely, it'd be very, very important for our security here.
Definitely.
And across many of the allied nations.
Yes.
I'm sure Bronth would be happy to share.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Good. Did you... I guess no one here can really keep track of that army that was heading north in the Shadow Plane. Does Underwood have the capacity to keep an eye out for that?
The Shadow Plane, it's difficult.
The Lewins?
What was that?
The Lewins, maybe?
Maybe.
I know.
Maybe. We're well past all of that. We should be well past all of that. I have spoken with the Kothamori about that matter. I will see if the Lewins are able to leverage any help. And if this, and I will see if anyone that I absolutely trust can do anything with this. She points over again at the folded up piece of paper on the counter with both hands.
How are the Crimson Council doing? What are their priorities? Are there any machinations, political dramas I should know about?
They've been particularly secretive, but with Iothgos rather busy with a southern invasion, all the focus has just been on fortifying our own position for the time being. Nothing sinister, I don't think. Lots of military spending, lots of training and arming.
And how are the people reacting to it?
It's odd being your own customer for once.
I bet.
There really isn't anything else, son. I needed to hear from you, and I need to understand what it is that he meant. Doakai was a child of Luminius. I don't know how your uncle or your father knew that he was there. I imagine King Nenri must have told them. I don't know what they were planning on doing if they were able to break in, but that, I think, is maybe the key to all of this. And I needed to see you.
It's as good a reason as any.
A lot of you are welcome. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'll try and figure it out.
After that, she has nothing else serious to talk about. She's happy to hear about your adventures and listen to anything that you have to say and visit for as long as you'd like. You can continue the scene if there's anything specific, or you can go ahead and have your niceties and then return home when desired.
I figure probably just a macro world check here as to whether the Kizjan need any particular materials for Gildenverge while we're in an industrial city.
Mm-hmm. Minor magical items are always helpful. Small things like heating up cooking pots and things that purify food. And
Enchanted block and tackle and stuff.
Yeah, like little tiny common quality of life things just to help the local communities.
Cool.
And Nivara can certainly furnish some of that.
Nice.
When we leave,
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep Una behind in her room or whatever, wherever we were talking, her workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Just invisible, and I want to wait near the portal for like 10-30 minutes just to see, because Garnet's like feels like we kind of gave a lot of important information to someone who could be tapped by, Uncle against her will or not. So she kind of, wants to see if she's volunteering that information. Is she communicating with anyone suspicious, and just kind of what she does in the next 30 minutes, because this is pretty intense info.
Okay. Upon your departure, she has her unseen servant clean everything up. She eats herself a little bit, something to drink, and then orders her unseen servant to uncrumple the piece of paper and hold it up in the air. And she spends some time examining it. Roll an insight check, please.
For me or Una?
For you, because you can see through her eyes.
Okay. Ooh. What
That's
a good time.
espionage right there.
Why do I ever bother foreshadowing anything?
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
Mm-hmm. I did not want to do this today.
Yeah, here we are, Gnomes.
Yet
spill the beans.
Yet
This
here
paranoid party member.
She does not like it. The rune. She doesn't like it. She won't get near it.
Like after because the unseen servant was the one uncrumpling it, and she was just looking at it, and she's just mad.
Every single time she interacted with it, and almost all of her interactions during that entire visit, she used both of her hands for everything.
Oh no. Garnet does not say anything.
Okay.
Actually, I had a question for your mom. Girl stuff.
Okay, we've got all this stuff for Gildenverge, so you want to run back and we'll
Yeah, can I just catch up?
Sure.
If you wanted to
Mason
insight
and
check
I-
me, it's fine. I am deceiving the party, so I feel bad, but
Hmm.
I'm just this is kind of like bad. Like, how does she even like give
Can you give a performance check for like how you are reacting to? I'll give the insight.
performance or deception or
Yeah, deception's also fine.
I'll just
Like, what's your deception modifier? 8.
5.
Cool. Yeah,
Oh.
we'll
Does
see you
Mason
later.
want to roll or
Yeah, I'll roll for fun. I mean,
so some
sure, go for it. Yeah, well, just let us know if you need anything.
Yeah, girl stuff, you know, Elnow doesn't get it. But I'll just catch up. Like, I'll just be like 10 minutes.
Elnow doesn't get it. Okay, yeah, go for it.
You know,
I don't know. It's girl stuff.
it's just this like kind of like gently pushing Mason towards the portal. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it.
We'll just go grab some more magical items for Gildenverge. Meet us back here when
Yeah,
you're done.
let's stock up and then yeah, we can still leave together. But yeah, we'll be around. Just meet back here in a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
What kind of girl stuff does Elnow not? I'm able to talk about.
Maybe it's about like, you know, me potentially getting married to one of the summer court people.
Oh, maybe.
She seems very fixated on my like relationship status. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. Makes fun of you a lot for not being in one. Yeah.
I think that maybe that's something like, is that something people talk to mums about? I don't know.
Probably, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go find some food purifiers.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Garnet, what do you do?
Garnet is now fully having like a freak out. She is crashing out right now. She is like next to the portal, freaking out. She grabs
In
the
the toilet
sending
stall.
stone to Elnow. Picks up the sending stone to Elnow and hey, are you busy? It's
Yeah.
urgent. Follows up immediately with another message. It's urgent.
You get the first response is yes, always. What do you need? And then you send the second one, and she just says go.
And she is like her voice is like shaking in this moment. She's trying to hold back throwing up too. Like she's genuinely pretty upset. And I don't know if I could be the one who kills Athalor's mom. And she'll cry for the rest of the words, and we'll just wait for her. But not like that, but just
You know, I can't think of better ending sentence for the episode.
no, I had to do it to you. I had to be dramatic about it.
No, I think we're good. We will see you next time on Book of Dawn, Ioth Academy.
Woo. Sorry for the not.